Hey, it might be a little early again, but it's NTT IndyCar race weekend, and you know what that means. When they race, we race here first. It's time for some top split action in the 2024 IndyCar iRacing Series. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gatso, and welcome to, once again, our special Wednesday coverage of round 13. God, it's been that long already. Of the 2024 championship sponsored by 40 Racewear. Tonight we come to you from Worldwide Technology Raceway for the longest race of the season, if you can believe it or not. It's the Gateway 325. As always, joining me for expert analysis in the booth, he is my teammate, good pal, and he's the star of the show because he makes everything sound so much better than I can, especially with all these foreign names, is Antonio Estrada. Antonio, welcome, my friend. I know that recently we've gone through a couple weeks of Gateway, and we're back on the Gateway Oval. I'm not sure how you feel about the place, but it's one of those tracks that I'd love to hate. I hate it, but I do pretty well here. But we're going to see a pretty big split tonight of a 4.7K strength of field, and I think a lot of it has to do is because the Pro Series is going to be here tomorrow night. What is your take on this stacked field?
Yeah, pretty similar to yours. Good evening, Gary. Good evening, everybody that's watching P1 Broadcasting coverage of Gateway. Man, yeah, like you said, we have been here quite a bit, so it's... yeah, they'll be like, oh man, wasn't I here just
again?
Like last week? Again here?
Again?
But, it's a great track. I'm not that good at it, but I really, really enjoy driving here. And, you know, everything is usable. You can use the top, you can use the bottom, in both turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It really depends on how you set up your car. And I think we're going to see quite a bit of action. Passing is going to be rough, but, you know, this one is not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
And we have some of the best names in the business here. So I think we're going to be here for a very, very exciting race as we are reading up. And maybe we can go ahead and
let's do it.
You know, go ahead through the lineup. Alrighty, so making a rare appearance, but good to see him. It's Michele Constantini. He is on the pole with a blistering fast lap time, 24.4, almost a tenth quicker than Seb Alexander, who's going to be joining him on the front row. He's in car number 12. Row 2, we can find Brendan Lichtenberg, and he is joined by Andrew Marquez, both within a thousandth of a second. 24.634 for Brendan, 24.635 for Andrew. So they're very, very close on pace. Row 3, we can find Mark Murphy, good friend of the show. He's joined by Kevin Burrell, the best interview in the business. 24.7 for him. Row 4, we can find Brandon Rosenborough. He's joined by Diego Pinto. In row 5, we can find Hayato Matsuda, and he's going to be joined by Jacob Collins, a teammate of mine. Good showing for him. He's actually very good here. He actually set a pole, I think it was last season, right here at Gateway, so he knows his way around this track. Row 6, we can find Matt Taylor. He's joined by Tyler Dubois. He's going to be starting 12th. And in row 7, we can find Lucas Lodato, joined by Masato Shimizu. Masato has been really good these last couple of rounds. Maybe not as consistent as Hayato, and we haven't seen him that much, but it's good to see him joining us tonight. Then in row 8, we can find Guillermo Miguel. He's going to be starting 15th. And Rob Anglenix, Uncle Rob, is going to be starting 16th. In row 9, we can find Ty Villa, another teammate of mine. And that one is actually the last of the time setters. Everybody else didn't set a time, so they're going to be attempting to come from the back of the field. And, you know, there's a bunch of real heavy hitters. Starting 18th is going to be Jacob Oster in the number 1 car. Then in row 10, we can find Adam Blocker and Philip Krause. I mean, talk about a stacked row there. Then in row 11, we can find Jason Brophy. He's joined by Alex Van de Zandt, another very stacked one. Row 12, we can find Jeff Drake, and he's joined by Matt Shinko, and that is your 24-car field for tonight as we're getting ready to go racing. Man, it's gonna be cool to see what they do. I would imagine that a lot of folks were gonna, try and save a little fuel, and maybe not take it to, maybe take it a little easy for beginning of the race. But we've seen crazier things happen as we're going green. Michele Constantini gets a great jump, and Brendan Lichtenberg is actually going to be able to move on to P2 ahead of Seb Alexander. Looks like everybody's going to be able to make it through 1 and 2 cleanly. And, you know, starts and restarts are going to be one of the best opportunities you have to make moves. See a lot of side-by-side action right now.
Yeah, nice. Ooh, Matsuda into the wall on the corner exit of 2. Just pushed up into it. Just a kiss. But at this point, we're not interested in just kissing it. You got to really smack it down and get these cars to kind of get damaged. 3 wide in the back of the pack there. We see with Adam Blocker, Tyler Dubois, Philip Kraus.
Kraus already making moves. They're almost going 4 wide.
Oh, we're going to 4 wide. They're thinking about it. They want to do it. They want to. Come on, Alex. Here we go.
3 wide.
3 wide going in. Jacob
Oster is able to make it by.
Costantini, purple lap. All by himself now.
Kraus has kind of been stuck behind Tyler Dubois there for P20. Blocker making, you know, all kinds of moves. He's up to 14th right now. Just made his way by Guillermo Miguel, and Alex Van de Sande is going to be following on his teammates' tracks. And Jacob Oster is not far behind him. Still side by side between Oster and Miguel. And now Phil Kraus is also joining in on this battle. He was able to get by Dubois. Brophy is right behind him. So all these guys that started all the way to back, while they're making their way through the field.
There's the Blocker and Shimizu. Blocker was taking a look. Not going to quite unfold the way he wants it. We do realize that we're not seeing the correct numbers, so don't worry about that. But the positions are correct. Purple lap now belongs to Lichtenberg, who just turned that in just a moment ago for a 24-9. Still watching back here with all of the worst to first drivers on the worst to first challenge. They're obviously prepping. They're obviously prepping for the Pro Series. Throw the hardest you can possibly at me in a live action exercise. And well, and in terms of what's going downrange here for these guys, you're not going to get much more of a live fire exercise than what we got right now. 260 laps here at Gateway.
For sure, this is a great practice for them. As we can see now, Blocker able to make it
high
back
side.
Shimizu. And now he has a great run on Lodado. I think he's gonna take it to the inside, not the preferred line. It's tough to make passes happen.
Good recovery in the middle of the corner. Good run.
Yeah, he was able to get it to stick, but now he's gonna have maybe not necessarily the preferred lane, but he can easily clear Lodado, and Jacob Oster is right behind him. Now Van de Sande is making a little bit of a crossover move there.
Ouch.
A little bit of a tap of the wall by Lodado there, exiting 2. Now Oster is going to go all the way to the top. That's going to give him a great run, and he's going to be able to clear Lodado entering the front stretch, and he does. Van de Sande will follow. And Phil Kraus will follow.
Phil Kraus will just scoot right on through, too. And then Lodado's like, no, I'm going to slam the door on Brophy.
Man, yeah, that you know, a horrible feeling when you have all these super fast guys behind you, and they just, you know, kind of gang up on you. Lodado went down 5 places in like, what, a lap and a half.
will go up here a spot to Blocker. Blocker up 7 to 12th. Meanwhile, let's check out the leaders. Costantini, he's out by 8/10. Marquez, he's out by a second now, over Lichtenberg. Marquez is in third. Burrell, our points leader, is in fourth. Caution, and that is Matt Taylor. And that is the old loop-to-loop off of corner 2. That is exactly what happened there. We'll go back and take a look at it. Sometimes when you have a little too much in terms of a weight jacker, the back end just kind of whoops come right around on you.
Yeah. Turn 2 can be a little treacherous, but you kind of have to play around with your tools and make sure that you have enough turn in. Probably a little bit too much right now for Matt, but luckily he didn't really hit anything. So we still have all of our 24 drivers still in the lead lap. And I imagine that we're going to see some takers. That should help with fuel economy. We should be able to do around 50 to 55 laps around in a tank. And, a lot of takers.
Yeah, watch it. We're just on the corner exit. Just the back end comes right around and into the grass. Doesn't hit anything and just loses a bunch of track position, but he will hit pit road, get a set of 4 tires put back on his car that are going to be fresh. No tire limits here in the IIS, and he will have to try to fight his way back through at the tail end of the field. First caution of the day at lap 15, everybody on pit road.
Yeah, if you have him, burn him.
If you got him, smoke him.
Man.
And not everyone on pit road, actually. Blocker on pit road, Jacob Oster on pit road. Looks like your teammate Ty Quilla decided that he was going to stay out and go for some track position. He moves up to 13th. Matsuda is the last car the first car that doesn't have new tires beyond Quilla. Quilla's in 13th. He has old tires right now. I think he will actually move up to 11th here. We'll see how they resort him. But Matsuda in 10th, Collins in 9th, Pinto, Roseboro, Alexander Murphy, Burrell, Marquez, Lichtenberg, and Costantini decided to just stay out. It's a bit early to come in for this run for these guys. But those in the back of the pack, why not? Come on in.
Yep. And, it's going to help them, especially the guys, like Blocker, Oster, Bandison, Field Krause, Brophy, those guys that have been making moves here and there. And, I'm kind of abusing their tires a little bit. So, if you don't have any tire limits, go ahead and use them. They really didn't lose pretty much anything, maybe a spot or 2. But basically, the top 11, they stayed out. And from 12th on back, they all went into the pits and changed tires, added some fuel. So they're going to be able to, run a little bit longer than your leaders. But, clean air is also massive, and track position is super important. So I think Michele Constantini and Brendan Lichtenberg, Andrew Marquez, Burrell, Murph, Seth Alexander, Rosborough, they actually have, also a very good strategy going on. We'll see how it develops, though.
Yeah, track position is very important here. Kind of reminds me of Motegi. Motegi has a lot of track position. But today's coverage is sponsored by 4D Racewear. Check out their line made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on their link in today's description. And just like that, it's time to go back to racing here. We're doing 260 laps. It's 100% length, just like the pros do. 325-mile race, our longest race of the season, if you can believe it. Green flag, and we're back at it.
Green is out. Great jump by Michele Constantini. Also, Andrew Marquez does a good job, but he's being hounded right now by Kevin Burrell there.
Roseboro to the inside of Seb. Now he's lost track of Seb, and now he's got Pinto to his outside.
Yeah, Pinto has a preferred group there, but not enough.
Pinto showing pace, anything but his surname suggests. Of course, Pinto was a famous model of car in the United States back in the late 60s, early 70s that often caught fire when it got rear-ended. But he is actually on fire today. I mean, he's right up at 8th spot where he started and is highly competitive right now. Lichtenberg, purple lap, 180.448.
A couple of hundreds quicker than Michele Constantini there. And yeah, Ford Pintos, not the most reliable things out there. Let's just put it that way.
Single file. Let's look at the back of those first cars that pitted, and Lichtenberg a top again, a 181.3. But your first car that has not pitted is Blocker, and Oster to his inside. But Tyke Willa showing that track position does matter, as he's been able to hold off for a number of laps, at least the start of this green stint here. He's been able to hold off some big names right behind him. And if I'm him and I'm looking in my rearview mirror, I hear the theme from Jaws, first of all, and then I just feel like one of the X-Wing pilots in the Death Star trench when Darth Vader starts steaming down on him with all those other TIE fighters. I'm a sitting duck out there, and he's doing a pretty good job. Stay on target.
Stay on target, yep. Yeah, the tires, they need to come a little bit up to temp, but yeah, he's doing a great job right now. Let's see how much they're able to hold him up. As Blocker now starts taking a little bit of a different lane, and now he gets a great run on Quilla. Let's see where he chooses to go. He's
inside. There he goes. Inside. Oh, he just sends it. Yeah, good entry. And slides right up on him.
Brazilian clear.
Oh, look at Ty's like, you know what? I'm going to stick it in here just because of that one. Here we go, side by side through the corner, but Blocker's so much faster on the high side.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in 1 and 2, the inside, I mean, you would imagine that by arcing the corner the most, you would be on the preferred group, but it's really not. You're able to carry so much momentum by going to the top or maybe in the middle of it. Oster was trying to take a look there.
Yeah, he wanted back in quickly.
But yeah, realistically, the preferred lane in 1 and 2 is the top or the middle.
Oh, cars on the wall on the backstretch. I think we have, no, it's not Uncle Rob. It is Guillermo. Or Guillermo, excuse me, and Lucas Lodato.
No caution, though. It's like, no caution. It was Masato and Lucas Lodato.
Oh, and Shimizu's also involved. He has a side pod and a rear wing. It's the skew. So Uncle Rob got around and through that. He is now the last car on the lead lap back in 21st, but 22nd, 23rd, 24th going to have to hit pit road to get some service done with that incident off of 2. We are still green on the racetrack, coming to lap or midway through lap 26 now, coming to 27 next time by.
Yeah, I think Uncle Rob and Jeff Drake, who also slowed down for the incident, they were expecting a yellow to come out, and it just never happened. I don't think they touched anything. They were just avoiding the incident. And while that happened,
oh geez, look at this pack. It looks like it's battle in the mid pack. Jacob Collins, man, he's kicking it up with these guys.
Yeah, the guys with the fresh tires are now trying to carve their way through the field. Locker is up to 9th, so he was able to dispose of Ty and Jacob Collins and also Hayato Matsuda. And now Oster, Vanish, and Krause are trying to do the same thing.
Okay, so the interesting driver that I see in this mix, and is not racing, and there we see Shimizu on the bottom coming back off of pit road. One driver that's not as highly engaged in racing right now, unlike the guys that he's kind of racing with, and we know that he's probably racing in cooperation with in voice channels, is Brophy. Brophy gets around Quilla, but he is not cutting through this group as aggressively. Possibly trying to do a save?
Maybe a little bit of a higher fuel map, or maybe just trying to take care of their tires. He's going to clear or attempt to pass Collins here. He's going to be able to send it. These guys have a really good setup. They're able to stick it all the way to the inside and then have a great run off of the corner. So yeah, I mean he's bringing the rear of the caboose of this hyper team train. But yeah, they are carving through the field. Right now it's a P9 for Blocker, then
Suda, but move Blocker up to 8th.
But with every position that a Blocker and this group moves forward, it also gets tougher. Like, there are no slouches in this slot, but all of these drivers are really good. If they're up front, they're up front there for a reason. Oh, there's a little bit of beef in the chat.
Oh.
Guillermo Miguel, he's not too happy with Uncle Rob. Says that he wrecked him intentionally. I'll go back and look in a sec. I really didn't.
Yeah, it was tough to go back and review that we didn't go under caution, and we had a lot of racing in the mid pack. Wanted to show that, so maybe you can. I'll
head back in a second and see what.
Check it out.
What happened there.
Riding along with Jacob Oster, who is in P10. The Prince is currently up 8 spots, and he is following up through the lineup. Blocker right now. He is now attacking the Pinto. He's got a good run coming off of 2 on Pinto now. He might just send it to the inside going into 3. We'll see. Nope, not enough of a run. He's going to get tried again.
Oh, I just saw it. So there were 2 incidents. First, the one with Lodato and Shimizu, and then the other one was Uncle Rob was passing Guillermo Miguel and just got a little bit of air wash and drifted into his lane a tiny bit. They made contact, but I don't think it was intentional at all. More of a racing deal, but I can understand the frustration.
Yeah, the IIS races have a little bit more pressure to them. You only have 4 opportunities a week when the IIS comes up on the schedule to get in there and race. The races are 100%. They're long. So already out in before lap 50, I'm sure that they practice quite a bit. The next opportunity for them to race will be Friday afternoon at I think 4 p.m. Eastern, and then the Saturday 2 p.m. Eastern race, and then there's a Saturday at like 10 p.m. and they can run, and that is it for the weekend. That is there is no other time slots for IS. You just have these 4 opportunities.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough whenever you have a bad race here.
Blocker to the inside of Rosenborough.
It just sends it.
Roseborough, excuse me, and sends it, and he gets the position. Move the Dark Knight up to 7th.
And with better tires, now he's going to try and catch up with Seb Alexander there up front.
And the thing is, and you're talking about better tires, and if we stay green, this group in front of them are now on lap 37. So we've determined that on a low number, they can go 48 laps. On a high number, they can go about 55 laps. So we're looking at probably around lap 55 or so. When they will come to pit road, and these guys, these Blocker and everybody that pitted on lap 15 are going to have themselves about 15 laps overlap, where they're just racing by themselves, knowing that all these people in front of them have to stop.
Yep, yeah, for sure. I think it paid dividends for them to go and pit, but we're still a long ways to go, so a lot of things can happen still. As Brophy was finally able to make it by Hayato there for P13 actually. And Oster is trying to make his way by Diego Pinto there. That would be for P9. And, another thing is, clean air is so massive here. If you have just a tiny bit, you are able to kind of block where the other cars are going behind you. I mean,
Alex. Getting squirrely.
Van de Sand, yeah, getting really close to these 2. And now he's going to have a little bit of clean air on his nose. Not enough to complete a pass on Oster there.
Tucks back in. Brophy has now caught this group. Of course, Brophy, the defending champion, but not participating this year in the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series here on the Elite Racing Network. That's tomorrow night. Join myself and Derek Vance at 7:45 p.m. Eastern as we go to the Motegi Road Course for Round 3 of the 2024 B Series Championship. That's tomorrow night right here on ERN. Bit of an IndyCar triple header this week. Bang, 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 3 days in a row. Tuesday night, we got the top split fixed at Kansas. Tonight, IIS at Gateway. And tomorrow, ERL at Motegi Road Course.
Something else that's happening is Michele Constantini cut the back end of the lead lap. He just lapped Matt Shimko and Tyler Dubois. And Brendan Lichtenberg just cut Matt not at the best spot. Lost a ton of time behind him.
1.7 up to Costantini, then another 1.9 back to Marquez, another 1.1 back to Burrell.
And Murph really close to his teammate there. The IAR duo currently 4th and 5th and 6th with Seb Alexander, so they're very, very close in pace. So I would say IAR trio.
Yeah, IAR 4th, 5th, and 6th, plus an associated car they work with in 8th. But we have not seen the direct battle of these super big teams right now. Costantini with Apex and that squad, he is your leader. Lichtenberg is P2 with I5G. He's the highest ranked I5G car right now. I do like his new paint job. The blue camo does suit him well. Andrew Marquez in the Mad Works car. He and his teammate Matt Taylor in this split. Taylor spun out early for the first caution. He is 18th and kind of recovering. But Marquez started at the front, moved up one position, and has been there pretty much all day long. There is our points leader, Marquez. Now, you talked about points, and you're like, well, Gary, what about points? Well, here are the points for the IIS. Burrell with a just over 100-point lead over Philip Kraus. And then Alex Van de Sette sitting there in 3rd. John Betafuhr is in 4th, not in the lineup today. Will Weiser 5th, not in the lineup. Matsuda 6th in the lineup. Brandon Rosenborough 7th. He is in the lineup tonight. Marquez 8th in the lineup, as we mentioned. Christian Hilgard not in the lineup tonight. He is 9th, and Anders Sandberg 10th, not in the lineup tonight. There you see the rest of the lineup. Sticks, Craig, Bruto, Lodato, Hisada, and Sam Corsala.
Something else that I wanted to note here, Jacob Oster has not been able to make it by Diego Pinto. The only one from this group that we were looking at that was able to make his way through was Adam Blocker. And at some point, these stars, they kind of
equal out. Yeah, they equal out.
Yeah. So, I think that tire advantage is kind of gone. So we'll see, what tricks the Warman has under his sleeve to make it by Pinto here.
Well, he might just wait. I mean, they are coming to pit road anytime now, probably the next 5 laps. I mean, that might be the plan. It's just, okay, I'll tuck in. I'm going to save some fuel. I'll save my tires now, and I'm going to pass you when you tuck on the pit road.
Yeah, that would be a good strategy. And Blocker, keeps getting closer and closer to Seb Alexander there for P6. It was around 0.8 of a second a couple of laps ago, down to 1/10. Right on the back of him.
Seb Alexander, the good guy. Currently P6.
Yeah, looks like pit stops are going to be starting soon. Andrew Marquez just called out that he's going to be pitting this lap.
The whole host of the Super Squad is currently around. Alex Van de Sant's working his way around. That is who they're working their way around. Shimko.
And Constantini also in.
All right, so scheduled stops are happening right now, and they came at 53, so that was a pretty good guess by me on 55. Also coming in, we do have Andrew Marquez for a scheduled stop.
And Brendan Lichtenberg is going to relinquish the lead. It's going to go to Kevin Burrell.
Lichtenberg goes 1 lap longer. Kevin Burrell going 2 laps longer. This might be key. Currently, right now, he has the IAR train right on his 6. And here comes Burrell on the pit road. He will turn the lead now over the Murph, who goes, now he's going to go 4 laps longer. Or 4 laps longer, yeah.
Yeah, same with Seb. I mean, they have been saving a little bit of fuel. They have to naturally just let off the gas when entering the corner because they're in traffic. So, that has helped them with fuel economy as well. So now move Blocker up to 3rd. And
here comes Seb. So Seb's going to he's going to go about 5 laps longer, I think. And Murph is really going to go long.
Yeah, that caution also helped a little bit with fuel economy. Pinto is also in. Right now it's Murph and Rosenborough, the only ones that haven't pitted.
Now, Cosentini pitted at 52. We are at 56. Here comes Murph. So he went 4. He went 4.
And Rosenborough is going to stay out another lap. So he saved the most. Great fuel economy.
But he did lose. I mean, he got passed by the leader, so that's... He didn't want to get past it. If he got to pit road before the leader passed him, or would be the leader, that would have been better. But right now, he's going to go long. And unfortunately, he gave up a spot. But it looks like he's ducking to the inside, going to hit the pit road entrance. You got to pit in off of 3 here. This is one of those tracks, just like Homestead.
Yep.
Hit those brakes, hit that mark, don't speed. Roseboro on
that's
pit road.
Key. Don't speed.
Don't speed.
And then pit exit here can be a little tricky.
Oh, very slippery, very slippery.
Yeah, you typically have to go down on your weight jacker and take it easy. Like don't mash the throttle when going on that service road because it is treacherous.
Well, let's ride along with Brandon Roseboro as he is done with his service, new set of tires, full tank of fuel. Getting to those green cones, coming off the button, but you want to accelerate so hard, but you got cold tires. You have this flat entry road that's not exactly a lot of grip. Look at him struggle with that steering, try to get there. Now he's back on it, 100% throttle. Where does he come out? He comes out next to Murph. Well, he's not going to have a whole head of steam, and on the high side of him there, that's Jeff Drake, who's a lap down from him. And that is also Matt Taylor.
Yep.
So he comes out in front of Pinto, but behind Murph. Actually, Pinto's is on a different schedule than he is. No, they're on the same lap. There they are. They're 17th and 18th.
Yeah, and Constantini is going to be around 3.5 seconds in front of Brandon Lichtenberg. So a faster pit in, an out lap as well for Constantini. So he's, that would be for the virtual race lead.
Yep.
Once these guys that pit in lap 14 go take their service, we're going to see Michele Constantini go back to the lead and, having a little bit of a bigger distance between himself and Lichtenberg. But we'll see where these guys that right now are probably going all out and doing some really fast laps, we'll see where they merge. I mean, they're not going to be able to take the lead and leapfrog Constantini, but they should be close.
Let's watch this battle with Brophy, and then right in front of right behind Brophy is Constantini a lap down. So right now, the guys that just pitted really do not want to see a caution. They absolutely do not want to see a caution.
It would be devastating. I mean, you can get it back via a waiver run, but you don't want to have to rely on something like that.
If you're enjoying P1's coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series on ERN and you respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing while you're at it. Don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you'll miss out on future ERN iRacing broadcasts, including the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series tomorrow night, 7:45 p.m. Eastern, as we go to round 3 on the Motegi Road Course. Career wins leaders here at Gateway. Joseph Newgarden has 4, including 3 in a row from 2020 to 2022. Scotty Dixon, he has 2. He's your defending winner at Gateway when they come here on Saturday. And then list the names of former winners here. Reads like a virtual who's who of IndyCar history. Paul Tracy, Alex Zanardi, Michael Andretti, Juan Montoya, Al Unser Jr., Jill DeFerrin, Elio Castroneves, Will Power. And I was when I was putting this list together, I was like, I got to the last name, and it's like Takuma Sato, and I'm like, that could quite possibly be the least famous name on that entire list. And he has 2 Indy 500 wins.
Taku's great at the ovals.
And he has 2 Indy 500 wins, and he might be the least famous name on that list.
Yeah, for sure. Bunch of great names on that list. Phil Krause is making a move on Alex Van der Sande there.
On the outside.
Move Krause to 3rd. So there's a little bit of distance between Oster and Krause as well. That's a little bit of what cleaner does. Like once Oster was able to get into a little bit of cleaner, and now he's been he immediately was able to create a gap between himself and the guys behind him. Oster, Drake, Uncle Rob in the pits. So I imagine that Blocker, Kraus, Vanderson, and Brophy are going to be following suit soon.
Also see Matt Taylor coming on the pit road here. Uncle Rob service is done. He's back underway.
Let's see. Where does Oster merge back in? Constantine is already gone by.
Yeah, well, we're
Timberg
watching.
as well.
We're watching Oster right now. It's off the button. Now free to accelerate as much as you dare. Here comes Shimizu. Here comes Marquez. Here comes Burrell. He's going to cut in front of Burrell. Burrell's going to undercut him going into one and slices down and gets the position back. Meanwhile, Shimizu's going to stay high. It's like, where do I go to safe right now?
Yeah. Nothing Shimizu did wrong. I mean, he's just there.
No, yeah. And of course, his car is running a little damage, so he's down on speed from that early incident. You can see Seb Alexander getting a shot on the low side. He's going to bring his teammate Mark Murphy on through. So, yeah, Burrell gets the position over Oster. Oster going to try the high side with those new tires.
Vanderson and Brophy hidden.
And they're off of pit road right now. We'll see where they come as a relation to Burrell. Burrell on the outside now.
Vanderson is actually going to come.
Oster trying to get a little bit of a draft from Alex.
Vanderson in front of Rosenborough? Sorry, Marquez.
Marquez, no, but Marquez gets the position back, and so does Burrell. But Alex gets the drop on Burrell this time, and he comes out ahead. Gets the position, let Alex Vandersan rejoin at 6th. He's up 16 spots. Blocker's up 15. He's in 4th right now. He just got done pitting. He's 1 lap on his new stint. Lichtenberg's caught behind Uncle Rob right now at the moment. He's 18 laps into his current stint, so he is due to pit a lot sooner than these guys that just did, so we'll see how long they can cycle out up front with older tires, with newer tires running them down.
Let's see where Kraus merges back in. Constantini goes by. Kraus was the leader.
Lichtenberg will come by as well. Blocker will come by. I think he'll pop out with Marquez.
Yeah, maybe in front of him.
Oh.
It's going to be tight.
And there you see Alex going to try to get the draft from his new teammate. It's Hyper Slide. That's the Hyper Super Slide or Super Hyper Slide. Or
and there's the draft for Vanderson.
Yeah.
Instead of
gets on the radio and he says, "Get down low and help me out, man."
Move Vanderson up to 5th, and now Oster is trying to capitalize as well. Great run.
Up 11 spots. And passing Andrew Marquez is not an easy thing. He's no slouch.
No, not an easy thing at all. All right, so we can reset the field now.
Yeah.
So Michele Costantini, he's your leader by 5 seconds in front of Brendan Lichtenberg, who is P2. Then we have Adam Blocker running 3rd. He's not that far away from Brendan, though. Just 1.2 seconds behind him before goes for Phil Kraus. And
check out this train, though. Everybody's behind Kraus. Vandersan, Oster, Marquez, Burrell, Alexander, Murphy, Brophy. They're all right there. There they are in your picture.
Yeah, Brophy was the only one that was unable to make a jump on these guys, but he's still, closer to them, was able to at least jump both Pinto and Rosenborough. So, he's sitting pretty still, and,
My telestrator is working now. Good. Oh, contact Uncle Rob Shimizu on the backstretch. We're going to go caution. Look at Kraus going to the access road area to try to squirt on by.
Oh. And it was right in front of the leaders. And you know what happened? Masada was coming up out of the pits.
Oh no!
Damaged car.
And this happened almost in front of Blocker as well. So he's racing Uncle Rob here. Rob's to the high side. Blocker gets by, and oh my goodness, right in front of Blocker. Kind of a little reminiscent of Ray Hall coming out of the pits for the 500 a couple years ago and smacking the wall off the access road right in front of the leaders. Wow.
Wow, indeed. And now we see Constantini and Lichtenberg. They're pitting.
We'll take a look from Uncle Rob's point of view of actually, let's take a look from Adam Blocker's point of view, because this has to be a Code Brown moment for the Dark Knight, who doesn't really see a lot of these incidents because he's normally at the front, but this is what he sees in his looking ahead, and bounce, boink, ping pong. Oh, he didn't ricochet that far. I get by, and we're under caution.
Yeah, luck escape.
And he's
and great heads up driving. I mean, he's seeing what's happening and making a plan. Okay, what do I do? He immediately lifts off.
Yep.
And plans his escape route. So that's why he's Blocker is a 6.7K iRating guy.
He is going to, they're going to stay out since they just stopped. Blocker only 9 laps into his stint. Kraus 6 laps into his stint. Van de Sant 9. Oster 11. They are going to go cycle to the front.
Yeah.
Lichtenberg is, I think Costantini beat out Lichtenberg. We're going to wait till I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, Constantini's 6th right now.
There he is.
7th, Marquez 8th, Pirel 9th, and Murph, that's your top 10. Everybody that is not in the top 5 went into the pits, but these guys were, a little bit of a separate or alternate strategy, and now it's going to flip back. Now the guys that are going to be on, better tire life and whatnot, it's going to be from 6th on back. So we'll see how does Michele Constantini deal with traffic and being in the wake of other cars.
Yeah.
He apparently has been, enjoying himself on the clean air and just putting them down some real fast laps. Now it changes that, and Charlie does a 180 on the race, and now he's going to have to come back from behind and against some really, really fast drivers.
If you're just joining us, you're watching special Wednesday coverage of round 13 out of 16 of the IAS Top Split on ERN, coming to you from Gateway, where we completed 80 of a scheduled 260 laps. Is our longest race of the year. Yeah, even longer than Indianapolis. If you enjoyed today's coverage and would like to monetarily support our commentary team, we only have a few more races left in the season, so you can send us a donation. The link is in the description. You can donate via our GoFundMe link our GoFundMe campaign link in the description. We do realize times are tough, but anything you can send our way goes a long way in helping pay licensing costs, new graphics, buy a car or a track we have to if it's already not in our collection, so we can broadcast it for folks. So check us out at our GoFundMe. We certainly would appreciate it. We do this for free for the community, so every little bit you can help. There you see the IndyCar wave around rule in effect, starting with Jacob Collins, Taylor, Collins, Drake. A number of those cars that were in front of Blocker are getting the wave around. That is a rule in IndyCar. That's so the IndyCar leader, or the leader of the race, can bring the field back to green. Rightfully so, because, well, they're the leader. They've earned that. So we're going to see us going green here at lap 82. Blocker decides that he's going to stop off on the rest area right there on the interstate. I've seen a number of cars using that little indention area there to kind of break the draft and do some other things. I saw Jacob Oster was doing it a couple weeks ago when we were here, I think, for IndyCar Oval Series. I don't know if they're just playing around. I think it's kind of dangerous. You're kind of flirting with danger there, but
super dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do that, but
it's more playing around,
having fun.
Yep.
And green flag, big jump by Blocker, Kraus, Van de Sant, Oster, Brophy, following all the Dark Knight there right into turn 1, and Costantini, who is on that slightly different strategy now, and trying to cut through traffic, is in 6th. Lichtenberger's been dogging him all day, is coming to pit road.
Oh no.
Speeding on pit road, possibly.
That's
we got
probably what happened.
I don't think I saw him pop out of line and pass.
Oh. Kraus to the lead. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, when you had one of the early leaders coming to pit road, that's pretty big news. But Kraus now to the top side, up 19 spots to the lead, slicing in front of his new teammate. Now we're going 3 wide in the 1, boys. Let's watch what happens here.
Blocker retakes the lead.
Brophy purple lap that lap.
They're getting racy. Brophy going by Van de Sant. Steel side by side for the lead. A little bit of a
you saw it too. Keep it off the wall. Careful, careful. He's going to hemorrhage a couple spots there, but Brophy's going to, Oster's going to take a look at the inside in the 1. And he gets the position. Blocker's like, nap. I'm going to cut down under, do the slice and over and under. And even though Oster might have got the lead on the backstretch, he does not lead a lap. Oh, that was close, though.
And now he has the preferred line and is able to complete the pass, but I'm sure that Blocker is going to try and come back again.
You're watching these guys just jockeying with each other like this. I mean, this is going to be the closest to what it feels like to be a Blue Angel.
Yeah, pretty much. These are like fighter jets. I always say that. And Oster is now going to lead a lap and get himself a little bit of breathing room between himself and Blocker.
And all that racing has allowed Costantini to sneak within a half second of Van de Sant. He has pulled himself about a 1.5 second away from Marquez, so he's broke the draft envelope. Marquez needs to keep up on that draft envelope, but coming up behind him is Burrell, and bringing along with him is Murphy.
I was trying to see what happened with Brendan.
It must have been speeding.
Yeah, but a speeding penalty would typically just get you to the back of the field, like drop to the end of the line. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, he is now 2 laps down, back in 20th. Maybe he can. There's still plenty of time. I mean, we have a ton of laps left, and maybe he can come up with another plan. And we've got 171 to go.
He has a very fast car. We saw that. And, there's still plenty of laps to turn. So if he can get in position to get one of those laps back via waiver round, then, he's going to be pretty close to being back into it. I wouldn't rule him out necessarily, but it's going to be rough.
Jacob Collins, Matt Taylor for position. Jeff Drake right behind them. This is for 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Drake trying to make something happen on the inside. Great run out by Taylor there.
This is at the tail end of the lead lap. Matsuda on the backside of Seb Alexander. He's in an appropriate livery for this racetrack in this race. That was the winner last season.
Mr. Where did he come from?
Scotty D, yep.
Like whenever, there's a race that's happening and he's mired back in, 9th, 8th, whatever, just chilling, and then all of a sudden he's
here he is, end of the race, top 5. He's just a few wins away from passing AJ Foyt on the all-time IndyCar wins list. He's one championship away from tying AJ Foyt with the most series championships.
The stats are crazy. Like,
yeah, if he does, if you do not believe that he goes down as one of the all-time greats at the end of his career, then I question your sanity. What I'll do is I'll call you a NASCAR fan. That's what I'll do.
Shots fired.
Speaking of shots fired, at least NASCAR had some class to do something about that finish at Richmond. That was a joke. I'm telling you, NASCAR fans, if that is your style of racing and you enjoy that, I feel really bad for you. If you want some better racing, where we don't have to wreck people coming to the white flag or the checkered flag, check out IndyCar racing, would you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, but I was honestly happily surprised that they called out, that penalty and basically stripped Austin Dillon's playoff eligibility due to that move, because beating and banging and boys have at it and all these other different things that NASCAR has preached over the years, that's fine, and that's one way to look at it. But blatantly wrecking two cars to make sure that you win a race, that's they say that all over that he crossed the line. That's just going way overboard. So happy that they did something. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of folks that are going to be pissed because whenever NASCAR does something, it's probably going to irk a lot of people.
Well, I don't see how that was skillful driving. I had a coworker of mine is still this is a long time ago, is a NASCAR fan. Of course, I'm an IndyCar fan, and they're like, oh well, I don't like IndyCar because they can't rub on each other, and if they hit each other, they're done. I'm like, well, we're watching Seb Alexander almost doing exactly what I was talking about. Also, Matt Taylor and Ty Quiller's back there doing the same thing. But I said that doesn't take skill to go rub on somebody, and you know how I know that? Because I can go in my car right now, I can go out to the end of my street, turn down the road, go down to the stoplight that's the end of the road, and smack the car in front of me without any skill whatsoever. What takes skill is to do what you just saw Seb Alexander and Diego Pinto do, is race side by side with open wheels, inches apart, and not hit each other. That's where your skill comes in. That's what makes the IndyCar driver, I believe, a superior driver in the long run over your typical, I guess, mid-pack stock car driver that just won a race at Richmond.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, there's no denying that there's a lot of super talented NASCAR drivers. But yeah, if you have to resort to doing things like that, like wrecking cars, because otherwise you wouldn't get it, that's just, you're not having, it doesn't take any talent. And it's also very unfortunate because it was going to be like the first win in Austin Dillon's career that wasn't like mired back by something. Like it wasn't going to be. It was like going to be his first win that wasn't like on a super speedway where, kind of the. Was it going to be his first win not on a super speedway or a restrictor plate track or something like that? He had already won the Coke 600, I believe, and a race at Texas. Oh, okay. Those two were on fuel mileage. So, there's folks that are like, oh, that's not legitimate. He didn't have real speed. A win's a win. But I'll take a win with fuel mileage. That's strategy, man. Yeah, exactly. But the other wins that he had, either the entire wrecked out, or basically he dumped Almirola for the Daytona 500, which that one was a little bit more questionable because Almirola did come up a little bit or down or whatever, and they made contact, but it was still like kind of tainted, and he was on his way to actually having something without anybody questioning that, oh, he did it on raw speed. Like he was on his way to do that, but then he got beat on the restart, and that's part of NASCAR. Yep. And you kind of have to eat it up and be like, well, maybe next time we were able to build a great car this time, maybe we're going to be able to do it next week. and instead they chose to run through everybody, do a demolition derby, and I'm very pleased that NASCAR was like, you know what, that's not how we want to race. That's not the example we want to set.
Exactly. And then conversely, a driver gets penalized for just doing dumb stuff. Well, another driver this week gets rewarded for patience and taking advantage of the situation that was given to him. David Malukas going to be driving for A.J. Foyt next year, and a team that I think will be actually pretty good if the two drivers are indeed David Malukas and Ferrucci. If that is a team, although it's a strange bedfellows, and here comes Fantasant to the inside of Kraus. It's very strange bedfellows. Brophy also racing Oster as the tires are starting to change now. Also take a look at the weather. I think the weather might be changing. 90-degree track temp. Track temp has come down. Air temperature 77. But I think that because of that seats association and that team's association with Penske, that, I tell you what, if Malukas does well in that seat, there is a retirement on the horizon at Team Penske that will need to be fulfilled. And Team Penske always looks to a really good up-and-coming American or an up-and-coming driver that he can put in that seat. That's, beyond up-and-coming, has really proved themselves as a winner. They just need to be in the right situation. I would not be surprised now we see David Malukas in 5 years being in the seat that formerly is currently held by Will Power.
Yep. Yeah, another one of those GOATs conversation, honestly. But to me, Will Power is one of those, the best to do it on the Indy cars. But and Lucas had a great showing right here at Gateway.
Alda's coming out party.
Yeah, that was when everybody was like, oh, okay, hold on a second, that guy has something. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I'm not sure it's going to be, like, super fast. Right now, they already have that alliance, Foyt and Penske, which, you know, again, it sounds so weird to be like, oh, AJ Foyt and Roger Penske.
And they were bitterly nitpicking at each other back in 96, 97. They did not like each other at all when it was the split. But, again, strange bedfellows.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you know, two of the iconic names in IndyCar history working together. That's pretty cool. But so far this season, we really haven't seen that much of an uptick outside of the 500. In 500, they were really, really fast, both Ferrucci and Rob.
Well, I mean, Ferrucci's in. I think last time I checked, I heard he was in 10th in the standings. So I mean, even though he's not really having all these great performances like podiums and top fives, he's getting his car in positions to put it and get rewarded. At one point, he had more top tens this season. I think he still might have more. Oster tried to feint the block, but it wasn't going to happen. Brophy to the inside. Yeah, that was a little bit more blatant than a Pruitt fade. At one point, Ferrucci this year, and I have to go back and look at the stats, it still may be true, he has more top 10 finishes than Joseph Newgarden.
Yeah, but also Newgarden hasn't had like the best season because of things basically made on his own. Like, he has been making a lot of mistakes without, you know, any provocation. I remember Laguna Seca, he just binned it for no reason, and he had been gifted track position that he didn't have at all. And, you know, another couple circumstances like that. So, I mean, Ferrucci's doing good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see those cars like in the same level as Penske cars.
But if they're getting, I mean, the biggest part of where Penske has his edge that people said for the longest time are with their shock development and their damper development.
Yeah.
And if they have access to that, then that's really kind of the hidden weapon, because, you know, it's they're not really much of an advantage on the tire front. There's no advantage really on the engine front. It's aero and damper. How well do you know the car? How well can you get the car to rotate, change the center of balance, all that stuff? And Penske, you know, with their own stuff, really keeps up pretty well with that stuff.
But do you think that they are giving access to the dampers? I mean, the dampers from Penske.
Well,
pretty much
it's
everybody knows
like
that.
it's like the technical association that a Formula One team might have with Ferrari. Do you think Ferrari's giving them the best engines?
Exactly.
No,
That's kind of my
no.
point.
But
Yeah.
but if they get the second best. If they get the second best dampers, and the second best dampers happens to be something that gets them in the top 10, well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yep.
And right now, Ferrucci is 10th in the standings, and he has 7 top 10s. And where is Newgarden? Newgarden is 8th in the standings, and he has 5 top 10s.
Well, there you go. You were right.
Watching a battle back in the further on back between Matt Taylor and Ty Quilla as they're just kind of slugging it out. But Taylor coming to pit road, scheduled stop for Taylor. He is 50 laps into his stint.
Yeah, we're getting close for the leaders as well, they have been together this entire run. They actually were able to build a 1.5 second gap to Michele Constantini there behind him. But I imagine that once they pit, Michele is going to be going all out and trying to jump them out, trying to do a little bit of an overcut here because of the tire strategy. This is not over.
No. Not at all, not at all. 50 laps into the stint now for Blocker, 52 for Oster, 50 for Browse. Yeah, so we figured it'd be just about time. 52 laps coming to 53 for Oster this stint. 50 for Brophy, 47 for Kraus. Kraus might have a few more ounces in the tank. He might be able to go a little bit longer. Van de Sant 51. Costantini 42, so there's still about 10 laps overlap that Costantini's going to be really pushing. And the thing with Costantini, when he can start pushing, and he's going to have really worn tires, but he's going to have a really clean racetrack in front of him.
Yeah, except that Matt Taylor just
Taylor
right in front of him.
Well, Taylor has new tires and should pull away. Should.
Yeah.
Should.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and the guys in front will pit soon, except for Kraus. Kraus, I think, has been saving a little bit of fuel, and he was the one that went the longest of this group. He was able to squeeze out 3 more laps than Blocker, Brophy, Oster, and Van de Sant. So I imagine that he's going to do the same thing. Blocker and Brophy will likely pit at the same time, and Kraus will stay out a little bit. He might be able to even match what Constantini does. Although I imagine that Michele was also saving fuel. There goes Blocker.
Yeah, we see Blocker on the access road. Is he going to, as we're riding on with Constantini right now, he's going to see Blocker hitting pit road. That is pretty much the signal to go.
Yeah.
Go.
100%.
The car coming off of pit road. He's going to get around that. I'm not sure who that is. Jeff Drake, I think. Yeah, Jeff Drake.
Yep.
Now, it does help him that even though Taylor is in front of him, it's not pulling away. Taylor is giving him a good draft. There's Brophy making the turn down the pit road. Very slippery pit road there, access road. So now we're going to see how long. We're going to see how long Kraus now can go. We think he can go a bit longer.
Yeah, I imagine that Van de Sant will pit either this one or next time by. There we go. And Kraus should be able to stay maybe a couple extra laps. I don't know.
Kraus, 53 laps on this current stint. Van de Sant went 55.
Yeah, they were saving all right. But yeah, Michele is pushing, but he has cut to the back of Matt Taylor, and he's unable to get some really quick laps especially because Matt is running kind of the same line that Michele wants to run. So there's not a lot that he can do, although he's closing the distance to Matt Taylor right now. Tries to send it to the middle of the track, but that's where Matt Taylor goes as well, so that's going to stall that run as well. Loses a couple of tenths to Phil Kraus there again. See, last time by. So 24.85 for Phil Kraus, 24.96 for Michele Constantini. Yeah, being in traffic Again, nothing wrong with what Matt Taylor did. He just, that's his race. That's where he's at.
Here comes Kraus.
Kraus is spinning.
Here comes Kraus. So Constantini staying out. Now, we have not talked about it, but Costantini is currently the leader of the Pro Series standings. The top 33 will get the pro license, and they'll get to go for the big money championship. He is currently your leader. Diego Pinto, who is in the lineup right now, he is currently 5th on the racetrack in a battle with Seb Alexander pretty much this entire stint. Right behind him, there is Oster, there is Vanesan. And Vanesan and Oster are out in front of Blocker on that pit stop. That is critical.
Oh. Maybe a little bit of a slower stop for Blocker.
Yeah. Try to take a look. Blocker 7.9 9.3 in the box. 35.3 on pit road, but Vanesant 34.8 on pit road, on and off faster. And this we are getting bounded up 3 wide, going to 3 and 4. How wise is this, boys? And we might go 4 wide, because here comes Alex, going to go to the inside, just sending it. Oh! On the outside, Oster. Pinto decides to make a bit of a defensive move. Oh, there's so much going on. Oh, here comes Blocker to the inside.
Man.
They know that this is their chance to make their passes, make their hay, and coming up is Brophy. Rosenberg's in this battle too, but he's 53 laps into his stint, so his tires. We see a number of cars coming to pit road.
Now Phil Kraus is able to clear Jacob Collins. He's going to have clear track, and Michele Constantini in the pits.
So Costantini goes 53 laps. That's Seb Alexander. He's probably like, get me out of here. He's coming to pit road. There's Tyquilla. Seb probably is like, now's a good time to pit. Now's a good time to pit.
Yep. I don't want anything to do with this.
So Costantini and Pinto are 1 and 3 in the Pro Series qualifiers. So that meaning if they can hold on to their positions, and once the drop weeks and everything are shaken out, if they're in the top 33, they'll get the pro license to go for the big money. They are currently in pretty good position. Brandon Treno, I'm just going through and looking at community names, and currently Rosenberg is now your leader in the overlap. And Pinto has moved up to second, but he's coming to his stall on pit road. Rosenberg, 55 laps now into his stint.
Brophy was barely able to make it by Michele Constantini.
Robert Malechka, King Robert, is 9th. Josh Chin is 10th. Adam Crane, former series champion here in the IAS. Here comes Rosenberg to pit road. Crane is 12th. Peter Berryman, 16th. Kevin Burrell, 17th. Good luck to him. Jacob Oster's 24th. Brian Carey, 26th. Michael Romanitis, 27th. Philip Kraus, 28th. Rosenberg, watching him on pit road, he is currently on the bubble. He is 31 out of the 33 top qualifiers. Just out of the contention there is Brophy. He's 36, so he could 2 strong races, and probably why Brophy is working so hard here today at Gateways. This is the last oval race for him to kind of capitalize at, to get back in a good points-paying position.
Yeah,
he is 36th. Lichtenberg is 38th. And our good pal Nick Sudik is 43rd, and he is within a whisper of getting that pro license to go for the big money.
It's he's close. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight between all these guys to make it there. So I can imagine that, this week's Gateway race is going to be so important for many of these, because since it's so road course heavy, the schedule, and many of these guys are oval specialists. Guys like Brophy, for example, they are not going to be able to get into those super high SOFs and accrue as many points as some of these other guys that we have been talking about. So yeah, I can imagine that they're going to be putting a lot of emphasis in this particular race to make as much ground as possible.
Let's reset the field real quick, but before we do, today's coverage is brought to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in today's description. Costantini, we'll get on him right now, the inside of Brophy. Ooh, moving up a little bit, just giving him a little bit of a how's about ya, and then slams the door on a corner exit. Brophy down low, did not like that. A little jerk of the car says his annoyance. He's going to send it to the inside in 3.
Prefer lane for
Costantini kind of floats down, gives him the dirty air, and holds on to the spot. Move Costantini up to 5th. Once again, if you're just joining us, you're watching coverage sponsored by 4D Racewear of the special Wednesday broadcast of the top split of the IndyCar iRacing series on ERN, coming to you from Gateway, where Philip Kraus is currently your leader. He has improved over 19 spots. He and a whole bunch of his teammates started in the rear. Battle between Oster and Blocker, although Blocker's just really falling in Oster's tire tracks at the moment. I think Oster might want to, or Blocker might want to try to economize while he has an opportunity to, but make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race, which is tomorrow, the next IndyCar race here on ERN. It is the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series tomorrow. Myself and Derek Vance will bring you the action at for round 3 on the Motegi Road Course tomorrow, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget, if you have not done so already, just a couple opportunities this season to donate to our broadcast fund. If you enjoy our broadcast and you got a few bucks, please click on our GoFundMe page and send them our way. We certainly would appreciate it. It goes a long way at helping improve these broadcasts and compensating superstars like Antonio Estrada for their time.
Yes. Please.
And Blocker gets around Oster. Again, I opened my mouth. I thought he was going to maybe try to save some fuel. Nope. Blocker wants to proceed away. And he's actually pulling away a little bit. But he's got 2 seconds up the road to Kraus. Kraus has kind of laid down the burner.
And we know that he likes to do that.
And then Kraus is sitting kind of on the bubble in the championship, or at least the qualifiers. He's at 28th. I think if he makes it in, actually, I really think if all the community members that we highlighted make it in, they will put on a good defense for the community for us. We really want to beat out those. We really want to beat out those hired guns, those eSports veterans, those guys that come in that don't participate in any leagues or any series, but then all of a sudden the big money comes up, and all of a sudden I could drive an IndyCar.
Yeah.
Inside of this lap track foot there, that is Jeff Drake. Drake trying to stay high side, holds his line. Very good etiquette there. Oh, Alex going to send it to the inside. He got a good run. Oh, he hits the rumble strips, gets a little squirrely. He's going to come out side by side with Oster and tucks back in line down the backstretch. You got to watch those rumble strips at that inside. They'll really disrupt the car, unlike hitting the rumble strips in 3 and 4, which kind of helps the car rotate and turn.
Yeah, you can get away with doing that in 3 and 4, but if you do hit them in 1 and 2, it really gets the car all unstable. It's not a pleasant experience. I have crashed quite a few times by doing that. But here comes Bandison again.
And we'll reset the field here momentarily, but Oster's like, send it on the outside. And he gets the position back. Philip Kraus is your leader. He is up 19 spots. Adam Blocker, there he is. He is P2. He's up 17 spots. Jacob Oster currently in 3rd, up 15 spots. Alex Van de Sant, who is now under attack by Michele Constantini. Van de Sant up 18 spots. And Constantini started from the pole with a lap of 183 and some change. Just to let you know, the track record in real life, is 192 and some change. 192.384 set by Will Power in 2020. Kart track record when Kart raced here, held by, we don't say this name an awful lot. Could have won an Indy 500 if situations were possibly changed in '89, but Raul Boisel holds the kart record here, set in the very first race when kart visited here in '97.
That's a name that I hadn't heard in a while.
Raul Boisel, he was in the Brahma beer car back then.
I love that car.
But everyone really kind of remembers him in the Duracell car for Dick Simon Racing. But a 187.963 when kart was here for that very first race. And the Gateway was on the front lines of the IndyCar IRL or the kart IRL war. Instead of having the US 500, which going opposite the Indy 500, which was a spectacular failure for kart, they decided to come to a Gateway and have the race a day before the 500. Brophy trying to set it underneath the Constantini, and they did that for a couple years. This was kind of the coming out party for in 98 and 99 for Helio Castroneves. He parlayed a very underfunded Hogan Racing entry to a podium finish here, and cried, literally was in tears getting out of the car, telling people that no one believed in me, that Helio was always going to be able to do this. And all of a sudden, he was already on Penske's radar. I think he was involved with Penske in some form or another. But the incident with Greg Moore at California really necessitated the change to Helio going to Penske. And then, 4 Indy 500 wins later, and the world's a different place.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, that Hogan car, that you just brought back some memories. and Helio did pretty good in that car, actually.
Yeah, he had a couple of good races that season that really got him on everyone's radar. That says, hey, if we put him in better equipment, he could do better things. And sure enough, I mean, yeah, he right away in 2000 when they put him in in the Penske car, he performed, and then that's when he won his first race, and that's when Spider-Man was born.
Right.
And of course, they came to Penske made a partial jump to the Indy Racing League in 2001 after watching Ganassi spank the field in 2000. That was a boring 500. I was there for that one. It's just like, it's Montoya leading again. Montoya still leading. Montoya leading by about 3 seconds. Montoya leading by about 12 seconds. Yeah, that was boring.
Destroyed everybody.
He destroyed. They showed that really the kart teams, the drivers and crews really were the better crews. Unfortunately, they just weren't.
Ultimate flex.
They just weren't in. Yeah, it was the ultimate flex. They just weren't in the. They just weren't at Indianapolis. They weren't in the better of the two series because of Indianapolis. And then they came the next year. Penske came the next year, ran 2 races. They only ran. They ran the Phoenix as a warm up. I believe their cars were still black. They weren't even painted for Phoenix. It was Gilles de Ferran and Castroneves. Then they came to Indianapolis and they had like really high numbers, like 67 and 68. Which I think, I think Penske used those numbers for Donahue back in '73. I think a lot of people forget about that, but I think that's why he dug those out. But Castroneves won that race as a rookie. He won it straight up. And then the next year, depending if you're talking to Paul Tracy or not, he won that race.
Nah. Nah. That's what the history book show.
I was at that race. That if they didn't have that wreck, that would have been Paul Tracy's race, because you could see him just physically running him down, and he was there was nothing that Helio could do because he had to save fuel.
Yeah, for sure.
Watching this pretty cool battle between Costantini and Brophy. Brophy trying to get a low side, but the way these tires are now on this run, Brophy's tires are well worn. The low side is not the way to pass in turn one with worn tires. Costantini, slightly fresher tires, can defend down low or can defend up high, and he gets a bigger run off that high side. That you see him getting a nice run down the backstretch.
Yeah, better momentum. It's going to be tough at this point to make any moves. I mean, at this point, they kind of just stalled behind each other. The dirty air that they're giving to the cars behind them, that makes it kind of impossible to do anything. And then if you take the preferred groove, like Michele right here is doing, you have to move elsewhere. And Brophy is now trying it on the inside, but that doesn't really yield results. And it also wears the tires a little bit more. So, yeah. A little bit of a tough situation for him right now. So I did a little bit of investigation, and I found out what happened with Brendan. So turns out that he got a penalty for passing under yellow.
Oh, it is. It is easy to do here because of access road. It's here in Gateway, and there's any track that you really have to enter off a pit. The inner pit road off of 3, you could get into that situation, and there's a number of tracks like that on the service, and I could really think of Homestead is one of the other ones, but that's brutal, and actually kind of that. Unfortunately, with the way that these races are done without live stewarding, that really should be a reversible penalty, but he has no choice. He has to answer that, and unfortunately. Since he had to answer that stop the pit road, he's now 2 laps down in 18th, and unless here comes Brophy to the inside. No, unless he could, we still have time. I mean, there's just less than 100 laps to go. A couple cautions, a couple waiver rounds. If he can do it, he's back in business. But it's not easy, but we've seen drivers come from 2 laps down before to win races. You're looking at one in your picture right now. Brophy last season in the ERL went down 2 laps at their Pocono 500, came back and win. And of course, the most famous coming back from 2 laps and winning a race is Jacques Villeneuve in the 95 Indy 500. Went down 2 laps, got both those laps back, and went on to win that race with a little help from Scott Goodyear.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to toss NASCAR bone here. Jeff Gordon came from 3 laps down in Martinsville once to win that race. I know.
He's an Indiana boy, so we'll let that happen. Yeah, we'll allow it. We'll allow
Brophy has a great run here. He's going to be able to, maybe not clear him. Oh, Brophy.
Constantini was up in the gray.
And Van de Sande is actually making a move on Oster at the same time, and he's able to clear him.
Ooh. Everyone's a little squirrely with these really old tires. Kraus 40 laps into the run, and poor Phil. I mean, he's leader by 3 seconds. Go ahead.
Sorry, Brophy is finally able to get to the outside of Michele Constantini. He's going to have the preferred
line. Yep,
here.
He will. And will he slam the door? Brazilian clear him? Nope. He actually legit clears him.
Sorry, you were saying.
poor Kraus. We haven't really showed him up at the lead. He is your leader by 3.2 seconds. Actually, Blocker has reeled him in a little bit. He was as high as 5 seconds, which might as well be 5 laps at this place. Especially with the pace that these guys run. But Blocker 3.3 back, Van de Sande 2.2 back, and now Brophy within a second of Van de Sande, trying to get another position late in this run. It's possible maybe Brophy's car comes alive late in the run.
Yeah, maybe. But, I mean, I would imagine that Phil is not going to be that upset. We show him a lot. We show him plenty. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that the setup in these guys' cars are very similar, maybe with, slight modifications for, each one of the drivers for comfort or whatever. But I don't think, well, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe, like you said, maybe Brophy's car actually goes a little bit better at the end of a run. That move on Constantini was great. He planned it for and worked on it for around 6 to 7 laps.
All right, Jacob Oster came to pit road. He pitted on lap 171. So he still has another pit stop in his future.
Yep, Blocker is now pitting. Again, don't speed, don't get a penalty. And such a shame. Again, going back to Brandon Lichtenberg, he would have been running with these guys as well. In the top 5. It would have been really interesting to see, which car had the best long-term speed, etc. But unfortunately, he's still stuck 2 laps down. But again, if something happens, he might be able to get back into it. Oh no, Matt Taylor just said that he's driving deaf. That's not fun. Probably lost some mechanical as well.
I've heard people say that they've accused him of driving blind before, so this is a first. That's got to be really annoying. Oster goes to the top with the purple lap, 182.5.
Vanderson actually missed pit road.
Oh, critical. That is super critical. Hemorrhaging time. We got a sense we can probably go back and look at that, see what happened. Coming to pit road. He was trying to hit pit road really, really fast. Watch him as he comes down the pit road. He doesn't. He goes in over right before the double yellow and white line separate. He just comes in too hot, goes out onto the grass. Well, there's no grip out there. So he just needs to kind of ride it out, allow the car to slow down and rotate through, get to this access road, try to get on pit road. Not going to happen. All the while smacking the bumps. And then Brophy is going to get the easiest pass of the world done here because he's going to go to pit road and probably get the pass on Van de Sande as he's going to go very slow on this end lap.
Yeah, and I was worried that he didn't have enough fuel to complete this extra lap that he had to take because of missing pit road. Luckily, he was able to come around, get into the pits, lock the tires.
And there's Phil Kraus. Phil Kraus on pit road, coming to pit road there. Yeah. He's surprised if that's probably real racing and we had real stewarding going on, he might actually get a penalty for unsafe entrance to pit road, but because he was on the outside of the cones, he's not going to get that penalty. But yeah, that could have been a real incident, especially if there were cars racing around him.
Yeah, he's luckily going to get away with that one just with a 1X because of driving on the grass. But he's also going to lose quite a bit of track position. I imagine that's going to bump him all the way back to 7th, maybe?
Yeah.
We'll see once everything, cycles through. But man, now Kraus has a 5.5 second lead over Blocker.
Watching Kevin Burrell, the IIS points leader, for a couple more races to go. Next up is the last road course race of the season, where we will go to Watkins Glen in substitution of Portland. Although my understanding from our astute iRacing reporter Justin Petschauer, that Portland has been scanned. I don't know if that's true or not.
I wouldn't be surprised, but not necessarily because of IndyCar, but because of NASCAR.
Of course, but NASCAR. But yes, thank you, NASCAR. That's at least, here comes Burrell. Burrell to pit road, I think. Yeah.
There are good things that come from NASCAR. All those Kyle Larson liveries.
And Brophy coming to pit. Oh, that's not Brophy. Sorry, that's a Tyquilla, a very similar livery. Yeah, when you have to make a list of the positive things that NASCAR has brought to you lately, that's not a good thing. But I would like to see Portland. First of all, I have family there. I've been to that racetrack. It's a long-time IndyCar racetrack. Of course, home to two of the closest road course finishes in history. The Father's Day victory of Mario Andretti over Michael Andretti back in, I want to say, 86. I remember watching that. I remember definitely watching it on TV. And Bob Jenkins, just a heck of a call on that. And Michael ran out of gas, ran out of fuel coming to the checker there. And then there was a three-way finish with Mark Blundell, I want to say Raul Boisel and I think it was Gilles de Ferran. Alexander Banasant goes to the top for a purple lap 182.9, and there was different strategies going on. It was raining, which is not unlike Portland, and the track was kind of drying. While some were on rain tires, some were on slicks. And I think Blundell, it was. I think it's still the closest 1-2-3 road course finish ever. But yeah, he edged out. Yeah, he edged that one on again and got the win there. But Portland, great facility. Last time I actually raced in a sim on Portland, IndyCar wise, was IndyCar Racing 2 back in the 90s. So I'd love to see it an updated version with good looking graphics and everything. But Watkins Glen, until then, will stand in for Portland, and they will use the international circuit. So they will use the boot, and these guys love Watkins Glen, and so I suspect speeds and times to be very, very close there. Then we will go to Milwaukee for the first trip to the mile and a very long time officially on the series. And then we'll wrap up in September on the Super Speedway in Nashville. And hopefully, they have this aero package. Because if they have this aero package, Brandon Rosenberg to pit road. Cosentini, purple lap, 182.9. But if they have this aero package, I would suspect that maybe we will see better racing than we have seen in this sim at Nashville. Normally in the sim on Nashville on this sim, I think the only aero package you have is a super speedway, and it's awful. It's just awful. It's a single file. The cars have maybe 3 or 4 laps where they can pass each other, and then the tires wear out, and then it's single file. It's just awful racing. Great if you're the leader. Great if you're a leader.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want an easy win. But we want racing. Yeah, no, for sure. Hopefully they use these package instead. And just super quickly, after having the entire cycle, Kraus is your leader, Blocker is second, Jacob Oster is P3.
Boom! A pit on the wall!
Oh, caution is out. And I was just about to say that Anderson really didn't lose that much time to Brophy with his little excursion. So
I want to know, was that netcode or did he twitch? It was a battle for position with Mark Murphy. Murphy was trying to stay on the lead lap. The way that it twitched, that it looked like there could be a netcode there, but it also could have been that it got loose in the upper groove. So we'll watch. Here it is. There you see Murphy wanting the position and also get the pass and get the position so he can stay on the lead lap. Kraus is hot on his trail to put him a lap down. There's a lot of room there. If that's netcode, that's awful netcode. I think that maybe Pinto got surprised. I'm not sure, but this is the man that's currently third in the Pro Series standings, using today's race as a bit of a warm-up. Let's look from the perspective of Mark Murphy and see what happens here.
There's a half a car length, maybe even a car length between them. So no, that's just netcode, bad netcode. That's really unfortunate for him.
That's a better shot from Kraus.
Lucky escape for Kraus.
Wow. Yeah, that was. I think he got surprised. Maybe he's like, oh, now I know why he's passing me. There's a leader. And I go, oh, crap, that's the leader. I got to go. I don't know. But that is something that he does not want to repeat tomorrow at 8 p.m. When they have that qualifying race here at Gateway.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's see if there are any takers.
Tomorrow race is 108 laps. But Pinto's still out there, but he has a rear wing that is completely askew at the moment. So he's going to come to pit road. Lichtenberg coming to pit road. He just stopped not too long ago, so this might be just to top off. This is where the passing on pit road happens. This is where, right here, when they're on this.
So since we were kind of looking at that replay, we missed that Blocker, Oster, Bandison, Brophy, Burrell, and Murph, they all went into the pits. So now they are, they have fresher tires on your leaders. Kraus and Constantini, they stayed out.
Yeah.
It's not a huge difference, but it's still 12 laps difference between Kraus and Blocker, for example. So again, this is not over at all.
And this is the longest race of the season. It's even longer than Indianapolis, mileage-wise and everything. Indianapolis was only 500K. Most of your IndyCar races typically are on the road courses are 200 miles or less for the most part. I forget how much the race distances were at Iowa, but Iowa just had a high lap count. But keep in mind, that's 7/8 of a mile oval there. So, okay, so yeah. St. Petersburg race distance is 181 miles. Long Beach is 106 miles. Barber is 207. The Indy GP is 199 miles. Detroit's only 105 miles on that particular course. Road America is 182 miles. Laguna Seca 175 miles. Mid Ohio is 180. And then it was 218.75 miles on each one of the Iowa courses or Iowa races. Toronto is 149 miles. Worldwide Technology Racing, 325 miles we're doing here today. And that's longer than what we did at Indianapolis. Keep in mind, Indianapolis was 500K. And the reason why they made it 500K is that happened to fall during the same week that we had the fixed and official Indy 500s. And so a number of these guys probably ran 2,000, 3,000 miles that week in 500s, give or take. So the IIS just gave the competitors a bit of a break and just they gave it a 500-mile or 500 race, but 500K.
Yeah, and also kept like the official Indy 500s as its own special thing.
Yeah,
I was very happy with that change, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. So lights are out on the pace car. Still a lot of time left here to happen because this is the longest race of the season. It's quarter till 11 p.m. Eastern time here where I'm at. So we're still got a ways to go. Getting the caffeine in my system. These drivers, same way. It is Kraus, Costantini, Blocker, Oster, and Van de Sant are your top five. Marquez, Matsuda, Marquez, Matsuda, Seb Alexander, and Rosenborough, they are laps down in this queue right here. So they will want to get around Kraus to get back on the lead lap. But the top 8 are on the lead lap. Mark Murphy got himself a huge break when that caution came out when it did.
Oster already making moves on Blocker. He sends it deep.
He did. Gets a bit of Oster coming back. Or Blocker coming back.
And I imagine that Kraus super happy right now because he has a lot of cars between himself and Costantini.
Oh, Oster up in the gray.
Has a preferred group here. But Van de Sant is not far. Maybe he tries something. Not that close.
And Blocker almost making contact. This caution actually is a benefit for Van de Sant because you're right. Van de Sant did not lose out on a lot of time on pit road, but the caution helps bring the field together, and he's still in this battle despite making that mistake on pit road.
Brophy around Van de Sant.
Kraus purple lap. Costantini purple lap. So they're answering one another. Costantini 183.6.
Again, remembering this is a marathon.
Well, these guys up front are acting like it's a sprint when they're trading purple laps. Costantini on the high side of Seb Alexander. Seb does not want to give up this position because that's just the Kraus, a 183.6 himself, back to the top.
Again. He's like, oh, you took away my purple lap? No, I'm getting it back. Costantini has to make.
So you're going to see the purple lap kind of jumping between P2 and P1 there on the tree, and that's what the purple number means. Is they got the purple lap. Costantini to the inside of Matsuda.
And last time by 24.514 for Kraus, 25.154 for Costantini. Same exact lap time. Costantini sending it
183.4, 183.4.
Finally able to clear him, and now he has his sights set on Andrew Marquez. And behind him,
Oster fighting with Quilla.
Oster, Blocker, they're trying to get by Ty.
Ty's giving him a lot of room. He stays up high, giving him a lot of room. Oh, gave a little too much room because it ran out on the exit of 4. Tie with the podium last night at Kansas. You had yourself a good finish there at Kansas.
Yeah. P6. Not horrible.
Yeah, top 10. I'll take a top 10. Did you lose iRating or gain iRating?
Nah, I gained iRating. So
okay, there you go. If you can go to the pay window and get a little money, that's still okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a little better on the the Monday race. I ended up just shy of the podium P4, and we had many of these guys. We had Oster, we had Kraus. So yeah, that was also fun. Kansas is a good track for me.
Well, let's reset the field after the caution. It's Kraus, Constantini, Oster, Blocker, Brophy, Van de Sant. And we'll take a look at Van de Sant because he is stalking Brophy at the moment. Burrell and Murphy, that is your lead lap cars. Starting one lap down is Marquez. That's why he is hustling so hard at the front to try to stay with those leaders. Try to maybe work his way back into getting on the lead lap. And then it's Marquez, Matsuda, Seb Alexander, who started on the front row, Ty Quilla, Jeff Drake, Matt Taylor, all one lap down. Jacob Collins, only car 2 laps down. Brennan Lichtenberg just got around Shimko, who is, I think, retired. Nope, must have had a pit stop or something, but Lichtenberg got around Shimko, moved him up a spot. Something happened to Rosenborough. Not sure what happened, but he is out of the race. I don't know if he had a ping drop or something. But he is back in 20th. Lichtenberg 16th. Shimko 17th. Dubosch 18th. Pinto with the crash. He is in pit road still, and he's not going to go anywhere, but he's back in 19th. Rosenborough is out in 20th. I'm not sure what happened to him. Shimizu is 21st. You still see him sitting down on pit road. Lodato 22nd. Miguel 23rd. And Uncle Rob 24th.
Yeah, we still have 55 laps to go. So that means that
race.
everybody needs to beat again. And we're going to see that Kraus and Constantini will have to beat earlier than, Oster, Blocker, Brophy, and those guys. But they have the track position right now, and that is key. We mentioned it throughout the broadcast. If you're able to get that track position, you're in a very
So what do? You need an edge. Do you push as hard as possible, go to pit road, get the splash and the tires to get to the end? Or do you save a little bit, go a little bit longer, go to pit road, probably still get tires, but a shorter amount of fuel, possibly a shorter stop? What do you do?
If I'm Oster, Blocker, or those guys, I want to stay on the track as much as I can.
Okay.
Because right now, I have a lot of cars in front of me. I'm not going to be able to put on some super fast laps. And I know that these guys need to be the Alexander tapped the wall a little bit there just in front of Jake Buster. So I'm not going to be able to run them down. That's not going to happen. And I know that they need to pit 10 to 12 laps earlier than I do. So, if a caution comes out in that period, well, then I'm sitting pretty. So that would be kind of like, Blocker is now making a move there on Jacob Oster. Oster is having none of it. But yeah, that would be kind of my plan at this point. Like, make use of that, additional fuel that I have and just burn it all down. And then, like you said, I'm also going to have a, quicker pit stop as Blocker goes to the outside of Oster now. Now he's going to have the preferred lane. I don't think Oster is going to fight in that much. He's lost back in. I mean, they still need to go through a couple of cars before they can actually see Constantini.
Track temp 84, air temp 75. A little overcast right now. Not sure what the sim time is. I don't know if we'll get to the dark time at all.
It's 5:30 in the scene, so I don't think so.
Nope, I don't think we're going to get there. We're 50 to go here at Gateway. Thank you for joining us here. Part of the NRN's coverage of the 4D Racewear Wednesday edition of the IIS Top Split here at Gateway. 4D Racewear, check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com. If you're just joining us, you are watching the special Wednesday coverage round 13 of 16 of the IAS Top Split on ERN, coming to you from Gateway. We've completed now 212 out of 260 laps. If you're enjoying today's coverage and would like to monetarily support our commentary team, make sure to donate via our GoFundMe link. The link is in the description. We certainly would appreciate it. It would mean a lot if you could.
Van de Sant almost cleared Jason Bruffy there in 3 and 4. He wasn't able to, so Bruffy's able to keep that position. And in the meantime, Blocker tried to go by Hayato Matsuda. Hayato's not, just letting people by. He's fighting.
Well, I mean, he's got the higher side, which at this point where the tires kind of trade off, Matsuda is on 34-lap-old tires, Blocker's on 23, so the effectiveness of the tires running down on the low side is kind of worn off at this point. So Matsuda's just staying high, trying to stay out of the way. Oh, here comes Oster trying to sneak on through, and he is going to use Matsuda as a block. Maybe no. But now Blocker to the inside. Will he get around Matsuda this time? Matsuda just on the high side where the momentum is. And I think that time he might have conceded a little bit. Oh, Blocker, a little fishtail coming off the corner.
Now that gives an opportunity to Jacob Oster. Oh. Blocker kind of blocks that line a little bit.
You mean
takes the air away.
The Blocker fade?
I mean, that's why, if your last name is Blocker, you kind of have to do it at some point, right?
What's the etymology of your last name? Well, it's back from the 1400s in horse racing.
Exactly.
People get their names from what they did. So if you're a baker, your last name is Baker.
Yep.
If you're a carpenter, your last name's Carpenter. If you're a blocker. No, we're just giving you grief, Adam. We know that. Some people that have raced him before will probably claim he blocks, but
I mean, we all complain about everybody else, so that's fine.
I wonder if he's going to be working on Connor's car this weekend.
Oh, I'm sure he will. Yeah,
and Connor Daly getting the nod over for Yukos for the remainder of the season, I think. Augustine Canapino, who we've seen in racing, actually in iRacing. I think Adam might have had a little influence in that to get, as T-Bell likes to say, Augie, to come and play with us. But I don't know.
Canapino's no slouch. Canapino has like 9,000
iRacing. He's a pro's pro there. But he might not feel like racing IndyCar now as he got the heave-ho back home. Unfairly. I saw a stat that he was coming up on cracking into the top 10 of most starts without a top 10 finish in IndyCar history.
But he was closing in.
Yes, he was. Alex Van de Sant 3 wide. Yes, he was, and that's the thing. I mean, I think this whatever situation discipline-wise that happened with him was ultimately what was the nail in the coffin, so to speak.
I think it was more about sponsorship.
Maybe sponsorship, maybe the sponsors, and then what supposedly the fallout of the association with McLaren was also possibly because of him. I could be wrong. That didn't help. I could be wrong. Brophy side by side with Alex Van de Sant. But I think he was on the verge of making like the top 12 in qualifying, getting the top 10 finish. Incidentally, the current leader in the most starts without a top 10 finish on the grid right now should not surprise you, Stingray Rob. He is 7th all time with the most starts without a top 10. You want to know who is the most starts in IndyCar history since they've started keeping the stat of the track, or track of the stat, excuse me, in IndyCar history, has most starts without a top 10?
Hiro Matsushita? I don't know.
I would say that, but Matsuda, I saw him in a couple Michigan 500s just outlast everybody and got a top 10. I'm going to say the name, and you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I could have said Milka Duno.
That was my other choice. I should not have second-guessed myself. I legit was going to say that. I was like, no, she didn't race that long, but yikes. Okay, well, yeah, that tracks. I mean,
The County Line Films is a YouTube channel. They do some pretty good documentaries on drivers from throughout IndyCar history, and they did a brutally honest one of Milka Duno, and Milka was kind of provided a seat because of the money she brought from Venezuela and Citgo oil. Yeah, and she parlayed that into a really bad IndyCar career.
Oh man, yeah, that was rough.
Now,
those years.
I'm making fun of her. I've actually met her. She was incredibly nice and very gracious, but there are probably guys that are on this grid right now behind a simulator that could probably go out and put together a better real-world IndyCar run than she was. I think she was just a little bit over her head.
Yeah, kind of a little bit like Lindsey Brewer right now. Anyway, we're getting close. We're getting close to that point where Field Cross is going to have to pit in.
Yes. So let's give you a readout on the length of these stints. Kraus is 48. He went 50 the last time. He's doing any time now. Costantini is at 43. He went 51 last time, so he's going to be doing here next 6 laps. Blocker is 37 laps in, but he stopped early because of the caution last time. He only went 17 laps into stint number 5. So he still has some ways to go. He might be able to make it to the end. I don't know. I don't think so. If I try doing the math, it's going to be close. No, it's not going to be close. He's going to have to stop. Oster's going to have to stop. He's 37 laps in, now 38. Brophy, 38. Van de Sant, 38. Burrell, 38. Van de Sant and Brophy just swapped positions there. We just missed that. There they are.
Yeah, Brophy was not happy at all with Matt Shimko.
Oh.
Who kind of, inadvertently hit-checked him, and that lost him a lot of momentum. That allowed Van de Sant to make his way through, and with Alex Van de Sant to 5th, and Brophy to 6th.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. We got time now that we could watch some of these replays. Here's Shimko, really low on the racetrack, coming off of 4, trying to let Oster on by. Gave him lots of room. Gets back up in the draft, but man, here comes Oster with a full head of steam down the front stretch. I know Shimko is watching his relative, so he sees this coming. He tries to come down, thinking that maybe he could get out of the corner and then maybe get out of the way in the backstretch.
Yeah, I think something like that.
There it is. Well, you know what? I'm not going to fault Shimko on that one, because if you go back and watch it, Brophy actually steers right up into him. Watch this. Watch this.
But the thing is, Shimko is going very, very slow in a very dense car.
But he has no place to go, and really, he didn't do anything wrong. He held his line. I think Brophy came up and gave him a little bit of how's about you right here, gentlemen. Watch this one more time in the replay. He's up high. He's not moving down. You can clearly see by the lines on the racetrack, and Brophy came up on him.
Yep. What I'm trying to say is that it's probably more of a racing deal. I can definitely understand how a Brophy would be a little frustrated with him. Not that Shimko did anything wrong. It's just that he caught it at a bad moment at a bad time. But luckily nothing happened.
Yep.
And something interesting, Field Cross just went into the pits a couple of laps ago. He has completed that, and
he's good to go.
So Jason Brophy completed his pit stop. So those two are
good to go
from here to the end.
Good to go. So Costantini now, anytime, next lap or 2. Blocker, anytime in the next 7 to 8 laps.
Yeah, and again, at this point, I think pretty much everybody's going to be.
And unfortunately, Blocker is going to be pitting within 10 to go, I think.
Yes, all of them are going to have to pit within 10 to go. But try and
Kraus purple lap. 183.940. They keep upping that number, and late in the race too. You don't typically in a lot of the races we cover, because they're sprint races, you see those purple laps go set very early. Then when we get to these really long races that have the really the cream of the crop in the community, you just kind of see how they just get used to make it a rhythm here and just lay down the blistering laps late in the race. Here comes Costantini. Final stop coming to lap 237. He slides it through the road there a little bit, bringing it down, getting to the limiter on the cones, and now final stop for our pole sitter on lap 236 coming to 237. Turning the lead over to Blocker. Can Blocker go the distance? I don't think he can. And if we pop in his car, he's...
we didn't consider that, but I don't think so.
I don't think he can, but if he's getting his car, he's shifting gears. I don't think he's really saving fuel.
Yeah,
This time a 181.3 that time by, so I would say that he's just going to make his way to his pit stop, and maybe he's thinking maybe a caution happens before I get there, and it just alleviates the whole point, and I just come to pit road and we sprint it out.
That's a play, basically. That's the only choice that they have to catch with Kraus and Constantini. So I think that both Blocker, Oster, and now Birrell and Murph, they're gonna try and be out on track as much as they can until the last drop of fuel is out of that tank.
Murph pitted on lap. He's on 48. He was on 191. Oster pit road right now.
Yeah, Oster's
so
good.
Burrell on 191. He's 49 in. So Blocker, Burrell, Murphy pit road anytime.
Blocker's here.
Burrell staying out.
Lap.
Murphy staying out. Lap 50 now for Blocker.
Oh, no, yeah, there is no way that they can make it. It would be a 70 lap stand. No. Doesn't matter how much you save. It doesn't matter if you're Scott Dixon.
Doesn't matter if you're Alexander Rossi.
Yeah, no, you're not saving 20 laps.
Who I thought would be a good candidate for that AJ seat, but I don't think that's going to be the case. He might have to battle it out with his buddy Connor over on Yukos. Costantini 184 flat, purple lap. And here comes Blocker, pit road, as he aggressively hits the pit in road there. Very good pace around.
And now clear track for Kraus, so...
Blocker, Burrell, and Murphy, pit road, final stops. Going to turn back over to Kraus. Kraus now, he's in P4. He has not passed for the lead, but he's down the back stretch.
Oh, no. So...
Oh, no!
Jason Brophy just came into the into the comm system. He didn't change tires. He does have fuel, but he didn't change tires.
Well,
So
I think the tires can do it. I haven't heard what tire conditions are for people, but it's not to his advantage.
no.
I thought for a second when you said, oh no, that Burrell and Murphy beat out Blocker somehow, but they didn't reach their stall yet when I looked down pit road. Costantini 184.1. He is setting blistering laps, trying to run down Kraus. Kraus is now your leader. Oster 185 flat. He is now the new purple lap guy. So I'm telling you, these guys, these are real pros. They're just throwing laps down haymakers at one another. So we are now 245 out of 260, 15 to go. Caution! Jacob Collins, no. He's on pit road, but I don't know who had the incident.
Oh man, I don't know. Oster? I think it was Jacob. Ah, it was Jacob Oster. Oh no, he just lost it. Probably too much weight yacker. Oh man.
All right, here he is. This is happening. He's riding with Blocker and Van de Sant. Blocker, a little bit of a move on the inside, causing Van de Sant to kind of get squirrely, and he gets up in the gray and just kind of comes around, almost reminiscent without the jerking of the wheel that we saw with Pinto. So maybe up at that high line with some of these setups, it doesn't, these cars really over rotate down there, or he had too much weight jack or too much forward bites, and he got too much clean air on the front wings, and that was caused the car to go loose. But that was a loose condition.
I think it's the latter. I think he had a lot of weight jacker, and that way, the car will obviously be looser, and that allows it to go like super fast.
So he didn't hit the wall, did he? He just came around. So I don't know if he's just used this race as reconnaissance. Oh, he did. Did he hit the wall?
Yeah. He spun out. Oster did.
Oh, let me see again.
Lap 244.
Yep. I thought he maybe hit it or didn't hit the wall. Again. Yeah, trying to put stuff together in my head. I'm not watching the clear picture. I see him get loose.
It snaps on him.
Oh, okay. So, there it is. All right. Well, they repaired his. Okay, what got me is they repaired his rear wing really quick when he got to. Oh, then it snaps back into place. Okay, that's what made me think that maybe he didn't hit because I didn't see any flopping parts. But yeah, that's a big enough hit that he's done. So he parks it. That's why he's parking it. And now we got a bit of a sprint on our hands. 247 of 260. We're going to go green maybe next time by, if not a lap after that. We'll see what happens when the pace car goes by the start-finish line. Kraus, Costantini, Blocker, Van de Sant, Kevin Burrell, Murphy. And Brophy. Those are your top 7 on the lead lap still. We're going to go another lap as the lights are still on the pace car. Number of cars further back in the pack are coming in to pit road to top off, or probably not to top off, just throw in a last set of a good set of Firestone Firehawks and just send it on this last run.
And Brophy also went into the pits to get.
Yeah, it's probably to his advantage, and it might be late enough in this race. Will they do the leaders go together? Yeah, we'll see. He's cycling through. I don't know if it's going to be late enough in this race for them to put all the leaders together. Are they going to recycle?
No,
we're right on that edge.
It has to be within 10 to go.
We're right on that edge.
Go with 11, so probably not.
Yeah, we're right on that edge, so that's a little disappointing. Now, maybe those cars in front of him will cooperate, just stay to the inside so he can pass, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on him, and it's going to be a big run for him back up to the front. So your leader is Phil Kraus, Michele Constantini, and then there is Blocker, then there's Van de Sant. They are all together on the racetrack, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kevin Burrell, he has a number of lap cars in front of him, including a teammate, which I suspect will get out of the way. That's Seb Alexander. Mark Murphy is going to probably try to follow Burrell up through and get the heck away from Brophy with these fresh tires. Although Murphy's tires aren't that much aged, same for Burrell. They're only 6 laps old versus Brophy's very fresh 2 laps on their caution tires.
Yeah, no difference, basically.
Yeah, Alexander is 8th. Matsuda is 9th. So that's actually a battle for position. So I don't know how much he really wants to allow his teammate on by if he's battling. And that's actually battle for position 3 guys there. Alexander, Matsuda, Marquez. That's at the bottom side of the top 10, 8th, 9th, and 10th. So that's going to be tight to allow your teammate on through the race. Quilla, Drake, Collins, Taylor, Lichtenberg, your top 15. Oster back in 16th now. Dubois will probably pick up a position here at the green flag. The 17th, Shimko is 18th, still on pit road, and we're going green. Here we go. Yep, I saw it.
Then Matsuda tried to make it happen on Seb Alexander there. Up front, great jump from Kraus. He's able to separate or get a little bit of breathing room between himself and Constantini. Blocker is also getting very, very close.
right, Brophy is now in direct contact with Murphy. Murphy didn't really want to see that, but he will now hang on, and I think maybe strategically try to help his teammate ahead of him, who is the IIS points leader. How much is he going to really help him? Well, not when you leave the bottom side open like that, but I think that got Brophy's attention. Van de Sant, purple lap, 185.4.
Brophy sending it on Mark Murphy. Move him up to 6.
Yeah, that's an outside move. That's I'm seeing a little red mist at the moment. I'm going to take the outside from you, kind of rub it in your face.
Constantini for the lead.
Constantini, purple lap, 186.6. Oh, Kraus in the wall. And as they fight side by side, here comes Blocker. Constantini to the inside into 3, still side by side. Van de Sant taking a look, not going to be able to get the position. Constantini clears him. Michele Constantini, but he doesn't stay for long. Here comes Kraus to the inside. 7 to go.
Clears him.
But here's Blocker. Now the snake begins. Constantini's going to go to the outside. He got a wheel there. Kraus tried to make contact. I think Constantini actually made contact with Kraus a little bit in there in the middle of 3 and 4. Side by side, that might have gone to Constantini that lap. On the outside in 1, he's going to have the momentum, but very high in the 3 and 1 and 2. Going to have a big run. He's going to kiss the wall right in front of Blocker. Blocker's going to get a run on the inside because Constantini had lost a little momentum. Everybody get your cameras ready. Get your drink in there. My voice is going. Constantini, the snake again. Constantini getting a good run. Almost got his wing chopped off. Everybody trying to execute the side draft going into 1.
Oh, so close to the wall, Constantini.
Pump fake, tries to go to the inside, goes to the outside. Probably just scrubbed off speed. That probably wasn't wise. Here comes Blocker to the inside, and who's going to help Blocker? Well, his teammate.
Move Blocker up to 2nd.
Yep, and now Blocker goes to go to the inside. Now he gets a 2nd, and he goes, you know what? I want the win. 4 to go. 3 and 4 side by side, and Van de Sant sends it on Constantini. He gets the position. We're going to go 3 wide for the lead here, boys. 4 wide for the lead almost with 3 to go. 4 wide going into 1. Alex Van de Sant down low. He has a check, and there's a contact, and this race is going to Adam Blocker.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was not going to end well. 4 wide doesn't really work here. Oh, man. And it was a lot of netcode. Because Van de Sant backed out of that 4 wide, then there were 3, and lots of netcode took Field Kraus out. Well, I'm not sure. They're probably both going to be able to finish the race.
I went back a lap early, but we'll watch this as this unfolds. This is where Blocker gets clear and like, okay, I've helped you now. Now I'm going to race you. So he just keeps it. He gets a good run off the corner. A lot better run than really the high line should have given Phil. I don't know if Phil had to check up or just maybe the tires. There's a difference in tires there. 28 laps versus 16 laps for Blocker. That might be the big thing there. Almost contact on the end plates. This is where we're going to go 4 wide. Here's Alex getting a run. He goes to the inside. Constantini goes to the outside. We have a battle of someone's not going to come out on the other side. Kraus gives a lot of room to his teammate to the inside and then just makes contact with Constantini on the outside.
Yeah, but it was a netcode hit, which is, the worst part. They were going to be able to make it. But, netcode giveth, netcode taketh away.
Yep, and I'll watch this real quick, and then we get to the finish here.
And Michele in chat is saying, worth it. We were 4 wide at Gateway.
Yeah. As long as Phil feels that way too. It was a very exciting finish, and Blocker, who is going to improve 18 spots on the day. We've been watching him all day long. We knew we were going to see him back up at the front. He's going to get the win here for Power Slide. A Power Slide 1-2. And then, then Hyper Slide, I guess, 1, 2, 3 with Barofi in third. Burrell, great for his championship hopes here. He is fourth. Mark Murphy, my man Murph, top 5. Great job by him. Top split here at Gateway. He gets there at top 5, and there is the winner by the Dark Knight. He is your winner today here at Gateway. Great job, guys. Just great all-around racing. All those we expected to be at the front ended up there at the front. And these guys are well prepared now for tomorrow night, 8 p.m., when they go head-to-head with hired guns of the eSport teams. When they race at Gateway tomorrow night for the qualify for the big money in the Indy Pro Series. And we're going to do some showing off here.
Maybe a couple donuts. There we go. Blocker celebrating. That was a great race. You know, bummer about the finish, but you know, they sure made it exciting.
All right, let's get into the final standings here and then see if it's late. I don't know if anyone's going to show up for the interview. We'll see. We'll see. Here's our final results from Gateway. 5 cautions that we had today for 17 laps. Average speed. Need to get that fixed. Adam Blocker is your winner. He did improved 18 spots, led 53 laps, got the win. Alex Van de Sant, not a single lap led, but always up with the leaders and really survived a monumental mess up of a pit stop. And to his advantage, to his luck, actually, he comes out second. Imagine if he hit that pit stop right, he might have been out in front of all these guys. He did improve 20 spots, though. P2 for Alex VDS. Brophy, we watched him all race long. He led 1 lap, improved 18 spots, finishes third. Kevin Burrell, your points leader. He only finished 2 spots better, but a critical top 5 for him in the closing stages of this championship, led 1 lap. Mark Murphy finished right where he started. Started 5th, finished 5th, led 2 laps. Good race for him. Phil Kraus led a race high 106 laps. I think 106. We'll check. I forget what Costantini did. But improved 14 spots. So good job for Phil. Seb Alexander, you started on the pole, but kind of hemorrhaged a little bit as this race went on. Started up front, excuse me, but hemorrhaged as this race went on. And he started he lost 5 spots, but still a top 10. Matsuda, good run for him. 8th. Marquez, 9th. Tyquilla. Man, your teammate Tyquilla there finished 7 spots,
job.
top 10.
Great job.
Yeah. Jeff Drake, 11th. Matt Taylor, 12th. Jacob Collins, 13th. A good top 15 for him. Costantini, led 75, so the race high laps led was indeed for Kraus. But Costantini did take the purple lap. He had that secured by himself, a 24 flat. Lichtenberg recovers to 15th. Not bad for him. Tyler Dubas, 16th. Shimko, 17th. Jacob Oster with the spinning out, getting loose in 3 and 4, smacking the wall, and 18th. Pinto, almost a exact same looking type incident in 19th. Roseboro, not sure what happened to him. Maybe a drop. I don't know. Maybe a mechanical. We're not sure. But he does finish 20th. Shimizu, 21st. Uncle Rob in 22nd. Miguel, 23rd. And Lucas Soldado, he'll want to audit this race out, excuse me. He'll be participating in one of the other races later this week. He finished 24th. It's one he wants to forget. Okay. Jason Brophy. Let's bring him on down. Hey, Jason Brophy, welcome to the booth. Interesting race for you. From the back to the front, but not without a couple near close calls, but good strategy on your part. P3, talk about your race.
Well, I wouldn't say good strategy. We made a mistake on that last pit stop. I was trying to do an undercut, get out in fresh tires with light fuel and gain some spots, and I stopped my box for the fuel I needed, and they didn't put tires on. And I was going to lose way too much time taking those tires. So I just tried not to take tires. And then the caution came out, and that meant I was going to be swamped if I didn't take tires because we were, plowing. So, yeah, that was a struggle. But, yeah, the car was really good. I struggled at times. I liked that the track felt like it changed quite a bit. I felt like the inside found a lot of grip. But I struggled for short run pace. Compared to my teammates and stuff. Want to work on that. This is kind of a warm up for the pro race tomorrow, though it got a lot colder than the pro race will be. So was hoping that, be a little better today. But overall as a team, pretty well. Top three, all three power slide drivers. But obviously there was some incidents there, a pretty large net code. So it was fun. Racing is fun. I think we had a lot of fun on Monday in A Open. So this was pretty good too.
Yeah, we did notice that your car kind of came to life late in the runs, which is probably not what you really wanted it to do, because then you were making up a lot of time that you lost to the guys when they were quicker at the beginning of the runs. Did you find anything that you can use tomorrow to your benefit, to your advantage, to help you? It's a lot shorter race tomorrow. It's 106 laps versus 260. But anything to help the community racer cause to kind of secure your spot in the top 33 tomorrow that you can use to your advantage?
I think a lot of it comes down to Q. It can be hard to pass, especially if everybody's pretty similar, as teammates there, knowing all of them are on the same stuff. We were all on similar stuff. I shouldn't say the same stuff, but, I think the car was really good. I think the driver was worse in the short run than maybe the car, especially in the light fuel there. It felt really good when I got that. It's just I was chasing balance. I never really figured out how to get the balance where I wanted. When I came out of the pits, I think the second to last stop under green, I should say. I had a good pit entry and exit, but I was a mess trying to get the tires warmed up, and that's one thing I really struggle with here. So, it's good though for the power slide private label team hype car. I need points tomorrow. I got to race well, and so I've done well this week. I won the A Open on Monday and then third here. I needed to be better, but I think no Adam there tomorrow, so. At least I got that going for me. So.
Well, best of luck on behalf of all of us in the community. Best of luck for you tomorrow. And then, we definitely want to see you secure that top 33 spot so you and some other community members can make that Pro Series big money schedule. But shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to for this P3 here today at Gateway?
You guys, thanks for broadcasting this here on ERL. I know I'm not really used to being on ERL on, for not the elite racing, but can't do that with the old Thursday night pro stuff. So, glad to be here and get on the broadcast. Private label team hype, my teammates at Power Slide, obviously Alex, Adam, Phil, really good racing today. Jeff was in the race. I'm sorry, Jeff, but he had some struggles. But yeah, so thank you.
You got it. Best of luck tomorrow. A heck of a 260 lap warm up race today in a P3. Congrats, and we'll be watching you tomorrow when the Pro Series kicks off its qualifier.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's bring down Alex Vanessant. Alex, my man, I don't remember the last time you and I talked. It might have been when we met at the restaurant there at Indy, when we met face to face. That might actually have been the physically last time we talked, but it's been a while since we've had you on the broadcast. Congratulations, welcome back. And a race not without excitement for you. Certainly coming to pit road, you made a whoops there. and really recovered quite well. Kind of makes you wonder if you hit that pit entrance perfectly, what could have been.
Yeah, no, I got away with that one. But yeah, it just worked out. A shame how it ended. Sorry to Phil and Michele. I mean, just iRacing things with the big net code, but it was probably too ambitious for me. It wasn't the right move, but yeah, I made it through, and 1, 2, 3 for the team is great. So yeah, felt great. Yeah, love this track. It's yeah, it was good weather, good race.
All right, the lap going into turn 1. You got to run to the inside. This might be your only shot. You haven't led any laps today. We're coming to the end. 2 of your teammates are above you on the racetrack, and Cosentini, who've been dogging you guys all day, and you send it down to the inside, go 4 wide down the front stretch.
Yeah.
What were you, not necessarily what were you thinking as a bad thing, but what was going to, were you thinking that was your one and only shot to possibly maybe make hay and work your way into the lead and getting the W?
Yeah, no, it was just a massive run, and I thought Michele had got like pinched or boxed in, so I didn't know we were gonna be 4 wide. Even then, I still had to like enter on the white line,
right,
with how low Adam was. But yeah, I mean, even then, in the end, I just lost a ton of speed on entry, and by the time the wreck happened, I was completely clear of them. So yeah, just it probably wasn't the right move. I could have like entered high or something and tried to get a run into turn 3, or just let them wreck anyway, and maybe something happens. But yeah, it worked. Just lucked out there. A lot of luck this race. But it was really fun last few laps there at the end.
Did you learn anything for tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, just how to manage the tires on our set. How to enter the pits better, and but yeah, tomorrow, I mean, I'm out of the points, so I'm just gonna be racing to get the SOF up and help out my teammates where I can. So yeah, just wanted to get laps in and get some boosts to my rating a bit, and so mission accomplished.
Now you know how this works. It's been a while, but you're a pro at this. Shout outs times, friends, family, sponsors, anyone to say hi to, go right ahead. You know the drill.
Yeah, just big thanks to everybody at Power Sled Motorsports and Private Label Team Hype. It's been great having Phil, Jason, Jeff, Chin, all those guys come over. Yeah, we've had a lot of success since May, since they joined. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun working with them. Yeah,
it's definitely the it's like the Super Friends team over there with all these big name drivers at that team. So yeah, quite impressive lineup you guys got there. Well, congratulations. Good to finally talk to you again. Good to have you on the program. Best of luck tomorrow, and maybe we'll see you at Milwaukee, or actually Watkins Glen coming up here in the IIS if you want to participate and have fun with this next time. But we look forward to having you again. It's good to see you. Congratulations. We'll check you at the next one.
Yep. Thanks, Gary.
And we'll drag him up there. And let's bring down Justin. Hey, Justin. This is Justin Petshower. He is on our Tuesday broadcast, but he's kind of a in-race commentator. But his race is over. How'd you do?
I qualified 4th. Would have started on the grid, but I had to go let a family member in because another family member was basically passed out asleep. So it kind of worked out in the end, so to say, because I got to see either how good or how bad some drivers were on track. Some were good, some were bad, and we finished 11th minus 2 laps down, and let's just say our race went fast. 2 hours, 4 minutes, with an average speed of 160.71 miles an hour.
Ooh. How many cautions?
4 cautions.
We had 5, so that was it. Let's bring down Adam. It's getting late. We don't want to keep Adam up too long. We know that he's a working man. Congratulations, sir. Win here at Gateway. First thing first, I know you started in the back of the field, chose not to qualify. How much of this race was a test session for tomorrow, and how much of it actually was that, I want to get out here and do something in the IIS? I haven't got, because I know that your schedule kind of doesn't allow you to kind of jump in with these races with us very often. So how much of it was a test race, and how much was it a one-off, I really want to win this thing?
I mean, I personally can't race tomorrow, but definitely, for the team, we were testing for tomorrow also. But I mean, also it was just a 260 lap race, so there wasn't really much point in. I don't think qualifying mattered much, just with with everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of trying to have fun and basically go from there.
Well, I mean, at least the next question. I mean, did you have fun? It looks like it was a lot of work out there, and a lot of your teammates and associates were on very similar setups, and it was tough to kind of get a good run on those guys. Whereas those that weren't kind of involved in the conglomeration of super team that you got there, you were just really eating those guys up. How was it fun out there racing with those guys? I mean, at one point that we saw you kind of all dicing with each other, and I said, I think this is the closest thing that we're going to see to, IndyCar doing a crossover with the Blue Angels. It was like you guys were, driving in formation. Was it really that fun out there?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like Jacob and Michele are in a different team, so obviously we were racing against them. But
yeah,
I mean, like obviously we got into a couple kind of lulls in the the long green runs, at least for me, where I kind of was clear of people and I wasn't really battling too much. But some of the restarts, like I know one of the restarts we had there in the middle of the race, maybe it was around like lap 80, lap 100, it was pretty insane. I think I was leading the restart and I lost the lead very quickly, and we shuffled all around. It was pretty crazy. And yeah, I mean, it was just so hard. I finally figured out 3 and 4 toward the end, but I was struggling there a lot of the race. And then with the track cooling and then just leading, it was the car was really loose there. So I know I took out a lot of front wing during the race. But yeah, like the last stint, I knew that caution was going to benefit me because Michele and Phil they had pitted much before, so I had fresher tires.
Yeah.
So but I also knew it was going to be crazy, and it was. But I probably should have taken it 3 wide a couple laps before on the front straight because Alex almost got me. But in the end, I kind of was patient, just backed up 1 and 2 when I could, got a run, and yeah, we all made a mess of 3 and 4. I think one of the laps, and yeah, I mean,
right.
I ended up getting there, and then I don't know. I mean, we tried to take it 4 wide, I guess, into 1 and 2, and that was never going to work. So.
Well, that's the build up to the perfect ending right there. So, well, congratulations. We know you got a busy weekend ahead of you. You're going to be working with Connor, or are you going to be working with somebody else this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be the race engineer for Connor this weekend. So.
Nice. Well, congratulations on that as well. Best of luck to you and the team at Gateway. Of course, that's a long race there. This is the second longest race. It's hard to believe that the Gateway race is the second longest race of the season besides the 500. So, best of luck for your team, and then of course your virtual team. But any shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you get on out of here?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody at Power Slide for the setup, and want to thank everybody for the race. Sorry to Michele and everything for. I mean, I don't know what really we all could have done, but yeah, just a shame. I wanted it to end under green, and yeah, hopefully we have a good weekend this weekend. Yeah, see y'all sometime.
Yeah, next one it is. It's a pleasure to see you. It's always good to see you race. Best of luck again in the real world at Gateway with you and Connor, and we'll catch you at the next one.
Yep, thanks.
Yeah. All right, Justin. Before we get on here, your final thoughts here at Gateway. It's a kind of we don't really talk about it that much because the races here on the IndyCar schedule in real life, we talk about 100% length races, but they are long. But this was really a marathon outside of Indy. This is the next longest race on the schedule. And all you have to do is kind of be patient. If you make a mistake early in the race, you can recover. If you make a mistake, kind of late in the race, like Alex did. Alex blew it coming to pit road. He was still able to recover because of the marathon nature of this race. So it's a race of being patient, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. I'm going to quote John Hindhaugh from Radio Le Mans and IMSA Radio when he describes the Rolex 24 at Daytona. With this race here, with how long it is, 260 laps, it's a marathon, but it feels like a sprint race because of how quick this race can go with the low amount of cautions. In this case, like I said, in my split 2, we only had 4 cautions. Our average speed for that race was 160.71 miles an hour. This race, it'll drain you mentally. Physically, I don't know, unless you got a motion rig like Jordan Taylor does, where hopefully it doesn't flip you over like that one did for him 4 years ago. But Yeah, we all remember that one. But with the different strategies, it's amazing to see who can work their way up to the front by basically picking and choosing their battles on track, especially figuring out where the clean air is the best. Majority of the time, it's the low line in 3 and 4, but if there's a big old stack up on that inside line, you'll say goes railroad them on the high side and just blow by. We might see something like this at Milwaukee in 2 weeks, but the radius of the corners though are completely different than what we saw here at Gateway.
And without the banking, yeah.
Well, somewhat similar banking, so to say, in 3 and 4, like what we're going to see in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to really know your way around the Milwaukee Mile. As the late great Bobby Unser would describe it, the most perfect oval in the world.
Uncle Bobby.
And that one's going to be 250 laps, and that one, qualifying and track position, much like tonight here at Gateway, is going to be pivotal on where you get a good finish or maybe even the win.
Well, we got Watkins Glen before then, the last road course, but then we finish up with Milwaukee, and we'll finish up with the Super Speedway at Nashville.
I'm looking forward to Watkins Glen because if you remember 2 years ago, no matter what split it was you were in, there was always chaos aplenty, especially going into the bus stop. I think with that being said, what do you say, Gary? I think it's time we close out the show for the night and enjoy the rest of the weekend off before.
We still got a bit of let's see what we got for the upcoming schedule. We still got a bit of a schedule ahead of us this weekend, but I guess I give final thoughts to Antonio. It was a long race, but I'm trying to think back. I mean, there were some periods of kind of dog day where we were just doing laps in the middle, but we were still talking about stuff. But I thought overall the action especially the first third of the race and the last third of the race was pretty darn good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this was an atypical Gateway. Many times Gateway turns into a procession and just guys logging laps behind another because there is nothing you can do. You cannot pass. The aero wash is so strong and track position matters that much that it doesn't really matter that you have that much more pace in the car in front of you. And we really didn't see that today. The inside, as Brophy mentioned, it developed. You were able to make moves. You were also able to make moves on the outside, in 3 and 4, again, preferred group. But in 1 and 2, it was really interesting to see that, the inside worked. So, we saw a very, very good race, super action-packed. And, we ended up with a 4 wide move for the lead. I mean, unfortunately, that didn't work out. It probably was never going to work out. 3 wide doesn't work, so 4 wide is like, no.
Do you see what your teammate put in chat there, Clint? He said 4 wide ending in tears.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was always going to end up in tears no matter what. But it was very exciting. I mean, they were able to run tooth and nail, making moves here and there, and we didn't see a stale race that, again, sometimes Gateway produces. So, yeah, we were in for a treat today. And, looking forward to the next one.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Gateway. Adam Blocker with a win under caution as we came 4 wide to turn 1. 4 went in, 2 came out. Adam Blocker was 1. Alex Van de Sant was the other one. And Jason Brophy very quietly got himself up into P3 there for the triple podium for the Super Squad there. 1, 2, and 3. And then, of course, a lot of that was set up for tomorrow night for the Pro Series qualifier, who will come here for 106 laps. Join Antonio. Ryan Walker will be back, and myself again Saturday, August 24th. So the remainder of the season, we'll be back on our Saturday 2 p.m. slot. For August 24th for round 14 of the IndyCar iRacing series as the drivers and teams head to the very fast Watkins Glen International Speedway for the final road course of the season. Coverage should begin approximately around 2 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Again, remember, it's 2:00 p.m. Eastern as always. Check the channel at youtube.com/, at Elite Racing, or just type in Elite Racing Network in the keyword search there, and they'll bring you to the channel. Check all your times there, or check the official iRacing schedule for the correct broadcast times in your area. Once again, special thanks for ERN for hosting us this season. Links to their channel and the Discord server are in the description. We love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy. They require time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar racing, and we know you do, and you've enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar iRacing series, and we know you have, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. Just a few more races to do that, so just keep them a reminder if you haven't done so already. You still got a couple more opportunities. We realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching, making us a part of your Wednesdays for the last couple of Wednesdays, and now Saturdays for the remainder of the season during NTT IndyCar race weeks. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 and ERN with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below and let us know you thought tonight's race. I want to thank Clindy. I want to thank Mark there for showing up in chat. We appreciate it. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video, would you? And if you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you'll miss out on more of ERN's other iRacing programming, including tomorrow night, 7:45 p.m. Eastern, here on the Elite Racing Network, the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series Round 3 at Motegi on the road course. We've started off the season with 2 different winners. Tyler Fode won last week on the Motegi Oval. Caleb Bency, the defending Indy 500 champion, won at Homestead. So we're looking for possibly a repeat winner, maybe, or a new winner at Motegi. Check us out. Also, over on P1, that's our new home. This Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, the NASR will have their second exhibition race at Kentucky, a recruitment race, exhibition race. Be myself and Ryan Eric King, 8 p.m. Eastern over on P1. All the links are already there on the channel. Just go to the channel and subscribe. It's at P1 Broadcasting. P1 and ERN's Saturday IndyCar iRacing Series top split coverage and Wednesday coverage brought to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made-for-sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description. So for El Patron, Antonio Estrada, Ryan Walker, who's not here, but he wishes he was. I'm sure he does. Everyone else here, Justin Petschauer, I'm Gary Gatso. Actually, I should also mention all the people at P1, all the people at ERN. I'm Gary Gatso saying thanks for watching, and to all our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Make sure to catch the real stars and cars of the NTT IndyCar Series this Saturday night. It's this Saturday night, August 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern. For the Bommarito, I'm saying it right, the Bommarito Automotive Group 500. For all the action, follow all the action. It's on the USA Network this week. So it's over on cable. It's USA Network, or you can watch it on the Peacock app in America or the IndyCar Live app outside of America. Or just join Mark Janes and the gang on IndyCar Radio on Sirius XM Channel 215. Be sure to check your local listings for correct broadcast times and station in your area. You can catch us again August 24th at the Glen for the next race of the IndyCar iRacing Series. See ya.